1. Introduction to dehydrating vegan food. 1.1 Benefits of dehydrating vegan food. Dehydrating vegan food is a fantastic way to preserve the nutritional value and flavors of fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, plant-based proteins, snacks, sauces, condiments, beverages, meals, and even international cuisine. This method of food preservation involves removing the moisture from the food, which not only extends its shelf life but also enhances its taste and texture. In this section, we will explore the numerous benefits of dehydrating vegan food and why it has become increasingly popular among health-conscious individuals. 1.1.1 Nutritional value. One of the primary benefits of dehydrating vegan food is that it helps retain the nutritional value of the ingredients. Unlike other preservation methods that involve high heat or chemical additives, dehydration gently removes the moisture from the food while preserving its essential nutrients. Vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants are retained, ensuring that you can enjoy a nutrient-dense snack or meal even after the dehydration process. 1.1.2 Flavor enhancement. Dehydrating vegan food intensifies its natural flavors, making it a delightful treat for your taste buds. As the moisture is removed, the flavors become more concentrated, resulting in a rich and robust taste. Whether you are dehydrating fruits, vegetables, or even sauces and condiments, you will notice a significant enhancement in the flavor profile. Dehydrated fruits become sweeter, vegetables become more savory, and sauces and condiments become more flavorful. 1.1.3 Convenience and portability. Dehydrated vegan food is incredibly convenient and portable, making it an ideal choice for individuals with busy lifestyles or those who enjoy outdoor activities. Once dehydrated, the food becomes lightweight and compact, making it easy to carry in backpacks, purses, or even pockets. Whether you are going on a hike, camping trip, or simply need a quick and healthy snack on the go, dehydrated vegan food is a perfect option. 1.1.4 Extended shelf life. Dehydrating vegan food significantly extends its shelf life compared to fresh produce. By removing the moisture, the growth of bacteria, yeast, and mold is inhibited, preventing spoilage. When stored properly in airtight containers, dehydrated vegan food can last for months or even years without losing its nutritional value or flavor. This makes it an excellent option for stocking up on seasonal produce or preserving excess harvest from your garden. 1.1.5 Cost-effective. Dehydrating vegan food can be a cost-effective way to enjoy your favorite fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based ingredients year-round. By dehydrating produce when it is in season and abundant, you can take advantage of lower prices and prevent wastage. Additionally, dehydrated vegan food can be a budget-friendly alternative to store-bought snacks and meals, as you have full control over the ingredients and portion sizes. 1.1.6 Reduced food waste. Food waste is a significant issue globally, and dehydrating vegan food can help reduce it. By dehydrating fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based ingredients, you can preserve them before they spoil and become inedible. This not only saves money but also contributes to a more sustainable and environmentally friendly lifestyle. Dehydrating allows you to make the most of your produce and minimize food waste. 1.1.7 Versatility in culinary applications. Dehydrated vegan food offers endless possibilities in culinary applications. From creating flavorful snacks and treats to adding a unique twist to your favorite recipes, dehydrated ingredients can elevate your culinary creations. You can use dehydrated fruits in granolas, trail mixes, and desserts, while dehydrated vegetables can be rehydrated and used in soups, stews, and stir-fries. The versatility of dehydrated vegan food allows you to experiment and explore new flavors and textures in your cooking. 1.1.8 Preserving seasonal produce. Dehydrating vegan food allows you to enjoy the flavors of seasonal produce all year round. When fruits and vegetables are in abundance during specific seasons, you can dehydrate them and store them for later use. This way, you can savor the taste of summer berries or fall apples even in the midst of winter. Dehydrating seasonal produce not only allows you to enjoy their flavors but also helps you save money and reduce your carbon footprint by avoiding the need for long-distance transportation. 1.1.9 Healthier snacking options. Dehydrated vegan food provides a healthier alternative to processed snacks that are often high in unhealthy fats, sugars, and additives. By dehydrating fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based ingredients, you can create nutritious and delicious snacks that are free from artificial ingredients. Dehydrated fruits make excellent guilt-free treats, while dehydrated vegetables can be transformed into crispy chips. With dehydrated vegan food, you can satisfy your cravings while nourishing your body with wholesome ingredients. 1.1.10 Allergy-friendly options. Dehydrating vegan food opens up a world of allergy-friendly options for individuals with dietary restrictions or food allergies. By dehydrating fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds, you can create snacks and meals that are free from common allergens such as dairy, eggs, gluten, and soy. This allows individuals with specific dietary needs to enjoy a wide variety of flavorful and nutritious options without compromising their health or taste preferences. In conclusion, dehydrating vegan food offers numerous benefits, including retaining nutritional value, enhancing flavors, convenience and portability, extended shelf life, cost-effectiveness, reduced food waste, culinary versatility, preserving seasonal produce, healthier snacking options, and allergy-friendly choices. Whether you are a health-conscious individual, an outdoor enthusiast, or simply looking for creative ways to enjoy plant-based ingredients, dehydrating vegan food is a valuable skill that can transform the way you eat and appreciate food. 1.2 Choosing the right dehydrator. When it comes to dehydrating vegan food, choosing the right dehydrator is essential. A dehydrator is a kitchen appliance that removes moisture from food, allowing it to be preserved for longer periods of time. There are several factors to consider when selecting a dehydrator for your vegan food dehydration needs. 1.2.1 Types of dehydrators. There are different types of dehydrators available on the market, each with its own set of features and benefits. The most common types of dehydrators include stackable dehydrators. These dehydrators consist of multiple trays that can be stacked on top of each other. They are compact and easy to store, making them a popular choice for those with limited kitchen space. Stackable dehydrators are also more affordable compared to other types. Vertical flow dehydrators. These dehydrators have a vertical airflow system, where the heated air is blown from the bottom or top of the unit and circulates evenly throughout the trays. This ensures consistent drying and prevents flavors from mixing. Vertical flow dehydrators are known for their efficiency and even drying results. Horizontal flow dehydrators. These dehydrators have a horizontal airflow system, where the heated air is blown from the back of the unit and circulates horizontally across the trays. While they may take up more counter space, horizontal flow dehydrators offer larger drying capacity and are suitable for bulk dehydration. Commercial dehydrators. Commercial dehydrators are designed for heavy-duty use and are ideal for those who plan to dehydrate large quantities of food regularly. They often have larger drying capacities, more powerful motors, and additional features such as adjustable temperature controls and timers. 1.2.2 Considerations for choosing a dehydrator. When choosing a dehydrator for dehydrating vegan food, there are several factors to consider. Drying capacity. Consider the amount of food you plan to dehydrate at once. If you have a large family or intend to dehydrate food in bulk, a dehydrator with a larger drying capacity would be more suitable. Temperature control. Different types of vegan food require different drying temperatures. Look for a dehydrator that offers adjustable temperature controls, allowing you to set the optimal temperature for each type of food. Airflow system. The airflow system of a dehydrator determines how evenly the food will dry. Vertical flow dehydrators are known for their even drying results, while horizontal flow dehydrators offer larger drying capacities. Timer. A built-in timer can be a convenient feature, allowing you to set the desired drying time and forget about it. This is especially useful when dehydrating overnight or when you're away from home. Noise level. Some dehydrators can be quite noisy during operation. If noise is a concern for you, look for a dehydrator that operates quietly. Ease of cleaning. Dehydrators can get messy during the drying process, so it's important to choose one that is easy to clean. Look for dehydrators with removable trays and dishwasher-safe components for hassle-free cleaning. Price. Consider your budget when choosing a dehydrator. Stackable dehydrators are generally more affordable, while commercial dehydrators tend to be more expensive. 1.2.3 Additional features. In addition to the basic considerations, there are some additional features that you may find useful in a dehydrator. Timer with auto shut-off. Some dehydrators come with a timer that automatically shuts off the unit once the set drying time is reached. This can be helpful to prevent overdrying and ensure optimal results. Temperature range. Look for a dehydrator that offers a wide temperature range, allowing you to dehydrate a variety of vegan foods at different temperatures. Transparent door or trays. A dehydrator with a transparent door or trays allows you to monitor the drying process without opening the unit, which helps to maintain a consistent temperature and airflow. Expandability. Some dehydrators offer the option to add additional trays, allowing you to expand the drying capacity as needed. Energy efficiency. Consider the energy efficiency of the dehydrator, especially if you plan to use it frequently. Look for models with energy-saving features or certifications. 1.2.4 Conclusion. Choosing the right dehydrator is crucial for successful vegan food dehydration. Consider the type of dehydrator, drying capacity, temperature control, airflow system, additional features, and your budget when making your decision. By selecting the right dehydrator, you can enjoy the benefits of dehydrated vegan food and explore a wide range of delicious and nutritious dehydrated delights. 1.3 Essential tools and equipment. To successfully dehydrate vegan food, you will need a few essential tools and equipment. These items will help you prepare, process, and store your dehydrated delights. In this section, we will explore the must-have tools and equipment for dehydrating vegan food. 1.3.1 Dehydrator. The most important tool for dehydrating vegan food is a dehydrator. A dehydrator is a kitchen appliance specifically designed to remove moisture from food, preserving its nutritional value and extending its shelf life. There are various types of dehydrators available on the market, including stackable dehydrators, shelf dehydrators, and box dehydrators. When choosing a dehydrator, consider factors such as size, temperature control, and airflow. Look for a dehydrator that suits your needs and budget. 1.3.2 Cutting board and knife. A good quality cutting board and a sharp knife are essential tools for preparing fruits, vegetables, and other ingredients for dehydration. Choose a cutting board made of a material that is easy to clean and doesn't absorb odors or stains. A durable and sharp knife will make slicing and chopping your ingredients a breeze, ensuring even drying and consistent results. 1.3.3 Mandolin Slicer. A mandolin slicer is a handy tool for achieving uniform slices of fruits and vegetables. It allows you to adjust the thickness of the slices, ensuring even drying and consistent texture. A mandolin slicer can save you time and effort, especially when dehydrating large quantities of produce. 1.3.4 Parchment paper or silicone sheets. Using parchment paper or silicone sheets on your dehydrator trays can prevent sticking and make cleanup easier. These non-stick surfaces create a barrier between the food and the trays, ensuring that your dehydrated food comes off easily without leaving any residue behind. 1.3.5 Mesh screens or dehydrator sheets. Mesh screens or dehydrator sheets are essential for dehydrating smaller or more delicate ingredients. These screens or sheets prevent small pieces from falling through the dehydrator trays and ensure even airflow during the drying process. They are particularly useful when dehydrating herbs, spices, or small fruits. 1.3.6 Airtight containers or vacuum sealer. Once your vegan food is dehydrated, it is important to store it properly to maintain its freshness and flavor. Airtight containers or vacuum sealers are excellent options for storing dehydrated food. These containers prevent moisture and air from entering, keeping your dehydrated delights crisp and flavorful for an extended period. Vacuum sealers remove air from the containers, further enhancing the shelf life of your dehydrated food. 1.3.7 Mason jars or glass containers. Mason jars or glass containers are ideal for storing dehydrated fruits, vegetables, and herbs. They are not only aesthetically pleasing but also provide airtight storage. Glass containers are non-reactive, meaning they won't absorb odors or flavors from the food, ensuring that your dehydrated delights taste fresh and delicious. 1.3.8 Spatula or tongs. A spatula or tongs are useful tools for flipping and turning your dehydrated food during the drying process. They allow you to ensure even drying and prevent sticking. Choose a spatula or tongs that are heat-resistant and easy to handle. 1.3.9 Food processor or blender. A food processor or blender is a versatile tool that can be used to create various vegan recipes, including fruit leathers, energy bars, and powdered ingredients. These appliances can help you process and blend ingredients into a smooth consistency, making it easier to create delicious and nutritious dehydrated snacks and treats. 1.3.10 Storage bags or pouches. If you plan to take your dehydrated vegan food on outdoor adventures or pack them for on-the-go snacks, consider using storage bags or pouches. These lightweight and portable containers are convenient for carrying your dehydrated delights and keeping them fresh and protected. Having these essential tools and equipment will set you up for success in your dehydrating journey. They will make the process easier, more efficient, and ensure that your dehydrated vegan food turns out delicious and nutritious. Now that you have the necessary tools, let's move on to the next section, where we will explore some tips for successful dehydrating. 1.4 Tips for successful dehydrating. Dehydrating vegan food is a fantastic way to preserve the flavors and nutrients of fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, plant-based proteins, and more. It allows you to create delicious and healthy snacks, meals, and condiments that can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere. To help you get the most out of your dehydrating experience, here are some tips for successful dehydrating. 1.4.1 Prepare the food properly. Before dehydrating, it's important to prepare the food properly to ensure even drying and optimal results. Here are some tips. Wash and thoroughly dry fruits and vegetables before dehydrating them. This helps remove any dirt, bacteria, or pesticides that may be present. Slice fruits and vegetables into uniform thickness to ensure even drying. Thin slices will dry faster than thick ones. Blanch vegetables before dehydrating them to help preserve their color, flavor, and nutrients. Remove any seeds, pits, or cores from fruits before dehydrating them. For leafy greens, remove the stems and tear them into smaller pieces for faster drying. 1.4.2 Use the right temperature and time. Different foods require different temperatures and drying times to achieve the best results. Here are some general guidelines. Set the dehydrator temperature between 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius for most fruits, vegetables, and herbs. For leafy greens, set the temperature between 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 41 degrees Celsius to preserve their vibrant color and nutrients. Drying times can vary depending on the food and the thickness of the slices. It can range from a few hours to several days. Check the food regularly and adjust the drying time accordingly. 1.4.3 Arrange the food properly. Properly arranging the food in the dehydrator can help ensure even drying and prevent sticking. Here are some tips. Leave enough space between the food pieces to allow air circulation. This helps the food dry evenly. Avoid overcrowding the dehydrator trays. If the trays are too crowded, the food may not dry properly. Rotate the trays during the drying process to ensure even drying. Move the trays from the top to the bottom and vice versa. 1.4.4 Monitor the drying process. It's important to monitor the drying process to prevent under or over drying. Here are some tips. Check the food regularly to see if it's drying evenly. If some pieces are drying faster than others, you may need to remove the ones that are ready and continue drying the rest. Test the food for dryness by touching it. It should be dry to the touch and slightly pliable, but not sticky or moist. Keep a record of the drying times and temperatures for different foods. This will help you adjust the settings for future batches. 1.4.5 Store the dehydrated food properly. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality and shelf life of dehydrated food. Here are some tips. Allow the food to cool completely before storing it in airtight containers or resealable bags. Store the dehydrated food in a cool, dark, and dry place to prevent moisture absorption and spoilage. Label the containers with the name of the food and the date of dehydration to keep track of freshness. For longer shelf life, consider vacuum sealing the dehydrated food or storing it in the freezer. 1.4.6 Experiment with flavors and combinations. Dehydrating vegan food opens up a world of possibilities for creating unique and delicious flavors. Here are some tips for experimenting with flavors and combinations. Sprinkle herbs, spices, or seasonings on the food before dehydrating to enhance the flavor. Mix different fruits, vegetables, grains, or nuts to create interesting flavor combinations. Try marinating the food in a flavorful sauce or dressing before dehydrating to infuse it with additional taste. 1.4.7 Rehydrate and use the dehydrated food. Dehydrated food can be enjoyed as a snack on its own or used as an ingredient in various recipes. Here are some tips for rehydrating and using the dehydrated food. To rehydrate fruits and vegetables, soak them in water for a few minutes or until they become soft and plump. Add dehydrated fruits to cereals, granola, or trail mix for a burst of natural sweetness. Use dehydrated vegetables in soups, stews, or stir-fries for added flavor and texture. Grind dehydrated nuts, seeds, or grains into flour to use in baking or as a thickening agent in sauces. By following these tips, you'll be well on your way to successful dehydrating and enjoying a wide variety of delicious and nutritious vegan snacks and meals. Happy dehydrating. 2. Dehydrating fruits. 2.1 Drying apples. Drying apples is a popular method of preserving this delicious fruit. Not only does it extend the shelf life of apples, but it also concentrates their natural sweetness, making them a perfect snack or ingredient for various recipes. In this section, we will explore the process of drying apples and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 2.1.1 Choosing the right apples. When it comes to drying apples, not all varieties are created equal. Some apples are better suited for drying due to their texture and flavor. Here are a few apple varieties that work well for dehydrating. Granny Smith. These tart apples hold their shape well during the drying process and offer a nice balance of sweetness and acidity. Fuji. Known for their crisp texture and sweet flavor, Fuji apples are a popular choice for drying. Honeycrisp. These apples are naturally sweet and have a firm texture, making them ideal for drying. Gala. Gala apples are sweet and have a softer texture, which lends itself well to drying. It's important to choose apples that are ripe but still firm. Overripe or mushy apples may not dry properly and can result in a less desirable texture. 2.1.2 Preparing the apples. Before you start drying the apples, there are a few steps you need to take to ensure the best results. Wash the apples. Thoroughly wash the apples under running water to remove any dirt or residue. You can use a vegetable brush to scrub the skin gently. Peel or leave the skin on. The choice of whether to peel the apples or leave the skin on is entirely up to you. The skin adds extra fiber and nutrients to the dried apples, but some people prefer the texture and appearance of peeled apples. Core and slice the apples. Use a sharp knife or an apple corer to remove the core from each apple. Slice the apples into uniform pieces, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. This will ensure even drying. 2.1.3 Pre-treating the apples. Pre-treating the apples before drying can help preserve their color and prevent browning. There are a few different methods you can use. Lemon juice. Toss the sliced apples in a mixture of lemon juice and water. The acid in the lemon juice helps prevent oxidation and browning. Ascorbic acid. Dissolve ascorbic acid powder in water according to the package instructions. Dip the apple slices in the solution for a few seconds before placing them on the dehydrator trays. Saltwater solution. Dissolve salt in water and soak the apple slices for a few minutes. This method can help preserve the color of the apples. Choose the pretreatment method that suits your preferences and the flavor profile you desire for your dried apples. 2.1.4 Drying the apples. Now that your apples are prepared and pre-treated, it's time to start the drying process. Here are the steps to follow. Arrange the apple slices on the dehydrator trays. Make sure to leave some space between the slices to allow for proper airflow. Set the temperature. Follow the instructions provided with your dehydrator to set the temperature. Generally, a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, is recommended for drying apples. Dry the apples. Place the trays in the dehydrator and let the apples dry for 6 to 12 hours. The drying time can vary depending on the thickness of the slices, the moisture content of the apples, and the humidity in your environment. Rotate the trays. To ensure even drying, rotate the trays every few hours. This will help all the apple slices dry at a similar rate. Check for doneness. The dried apples should be leathery and slightly pliable. They should not feel sticky or have any moisture left in them. Cool and store. Once the apples are dry, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool completely. Store them in airtight containers or resealable bags in a cool, dry place. 2.1.5 Storing and using dried apples. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality of your dried apples. Here are some tips for storing and using them. Store in airtight containers. Transfer the dried apples to airtight containers or resealable bags to protect them from moisture and air. This will help extend their shelf life. Store in a cool, dry place. Keep the dried apples in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Excessive heat and light can cause them to spoil or lose their flavor. Rehydrate if desired. Dried apples can be enjoyed as a snack on their own, or you can rehydrate them by soaking them in water or apple juice. This can be done for recipes that require plump and juicy apples. Use in various recipes. Dried apples can be used in a variety of recipes, such as granola bars, trail mix, baked goods, oatmeal, and salads. They add a natural sweetness and chewy texture to dishes. Drying apples is a simple and rewarding process that allows you to enjoy this versatile fruit year-round. Experiment with different apple varieties and flavorings to create your own unique dried apple creations. 2.2 Dehydrating bananas. Bananas are a versatile and delicious fruit that can be enjoyed in many different ways. From eating them fresh to using them in smoothies and baked goods, bananas are a staple in many people's diets. But did you know that you can also dehydrate bananas to create a tasty and nutritious snack? Dehydrating bananas not only extends their shelf life but also intensifies their natural sweetness, making them a perfect on-the-go snack or addition to your favorite recipes. 2.2.1 Choosing the right bananas. When it comes to dehydrating bananas, it's important to choose the right ones. Look for bananas that are ripe but not overly soft or mushy. The ideal bananas for dehydrating are slightly firm with a yellow peel that may have a few brown spots. These bananas will have the perfect balance of sweetness and texture once they are dehydrated. 2.2.2 Preparing the bananas. Before you can start dehydrating bananas, you'll need to prepare them properly. Start by peeling the bananas and slicing them into even pieces. The thickness of the slices will depend on your personal preference, but aim for slices that are around 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Thicker slices will take longer to dehydrate, while thinner slices will dry out more quickly. 2.2.3 Pre-treating the bananas. To prevent the bananas from browning during the dehydration process, you can pre-treat them with lemon juice or citric acid. Simply dip the banana slices into a mixture of lemon juice and water or sprinkle them with citric acid powder. This step is optional, but it can help preserve the natural color of the bananas and prevent them from oxidizing. 2.2.4 Dehydrating methods. There are several methods you can use to dehydrate bananas, depending on the equipment you have available. Here are 3 common methods. 2.2.4.1 Using a dehydrator. If you have a food dehydrator, this is the easiest and most efficient way to dehydrate bananas. Simply arrange the banana slices in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not touching each other. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let the bananas dry for 6 to 12 hours, or until they are completely dry and crispy. 2.2.4.2 Using an oven. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can also use your oven to dehydrate bananas. Preheat the oven to its lowest setting, usually around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees Celsius. Place the banana slices on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, making sure they are spaced apart. Place the baking sheet in the oven and prop the oven door open slightly to allow moisture to escape. Let the bananas dry for 2 to 3 hours, or until they are dry and slightly crispy. 2.2.4.3 Using the sun. If you live in a warm and sunny climate, you can also dehydrate bananas using the power of the sun. Arrange the banana slices on a clean and dry surface, such as a baking sheet or a wire rack. Place the bananas in a sunny spot outdoors, making sure they are protected from insects and animals. Let the bananas dry for 1 to 3 days, or until they are completely dry and leathery. 2.2.5 Storing and using dehydrated bananas. Once the bananas are fully dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their freshness and flavor. Transfer the dried banana slices to an airtight container or a resealable bag and store them in a cool, dry place. Properly stored, dehydrated bananas can last for several months. Dehydrated bananas can be enjoyed on their own as a healthy snack, or they can be used in a variety of recipes. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Add dehydrated banana slices to your favorite trail mix for a sweet and crunchy twist. Use them as a topping for oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothie bowls. Grind dehydrated bananas into a fine powder and use it as a natural sweetener in baked goods. Rehydrate the dried banana slices by soaking them in water or plant-based milk, and use them in recipes that call for fresh bananas. Dip dehydrated banana slices in melted dark chocolate for a delicious and guilt-free dessert. Dehydrating bananas is a simple and rewarding process that allows you to enjoy this nutritious fruit in a whole new way. Whether you're looking for a healthy snack or a versatile ingredient for your culinary creations, dehydrated bananas are a must-try. So grab some ripe bananas, fire up your dehydrator or oven, and start enjoying the delightful taste and texture of dehydrated bananas. 2.3 Preserving berries. Berries are a delicious and nutritious fruit that can be enjoyed fresh or used in a variety of recipes. However, they have a relatively short shelf life and can spoil quickly if not properly preserved. Dehydrating berries is a great way to extend their lifespan and enjoy their sweet and tangy flavors all year round. 2.3.1 Choosing the right berries. When it comes to dehydrating berries, it's important to choose the right ones. While almost any type of berry can be dehydrated, some varieties work better than others. Here are a few popular options. Strawberries. These vibrant red berries are a favorite among many. They dehydrate well and retain their sweet flavor. Blueberries. Blueberries are small, juicy, and packed with antioxidants. They dehydrate easily and make a great addition to trail mixes and granola. Raspberries. Raspberries are delicate and can be a bit trickier to dehydrate. However, their unique flavor and vibrant color make them worth the effort. Blackberries. Blackberries are rich in vitamins and minerals and have a slightly tart taste. They dehydrate well and can be used in a variety of recipes. Cranberries. Cranberries are known for their tartness and are often used in sauces and baked goods. Dehydrated cranberries make a great addition to trail mixes and salads. Choose berries that are ripe but not overly soft or mushy. Look for berries that are firm and have a vibrant color. Avoid berries that are bruised or moldy, as they will not dehydrate well. 2.3.2 Preparing the berries. Before dehydrating berries, it's important to properly prepare them. Here are the steps to follow. Wash the berries. Start by washing the berries thoroughly under cold running water. Gently remove any dirt or debris. Remove stems and leaves. For berries like strawberries and raspberries, remove the stems and leaves. This will ensure even drying and prevent any unwanted flavors. Slice larger berries. If you're working with larger berries like strawberries or blackberries, consider slicing them in half or into smaller pieces. This will help speed up the drying process. Optional. Pre-treat with lemon juice. Some berries, like apples, can oxidize and turn brown during the drying process. To prevent this, you can pre-treat the berries with lemon juice. Simply toss the berries in a mixture of lemon juice and water before dehydrating. 2.3.3 Dehydrating the berries. Once the berries are prepared, it's time to dehydrate them. Here's how. Arrange the berries. Place the prepared berries in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Make sure to leave some space between the berries for proper air circulation. Set the temperature. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius. This low and slow drying method will help preserve the nutrients and flavors of the berries. Dry until crisp. Depending on the type and size of the berries, drying times can vary. Generally, berries take around 8 to 12 hours to fully dehydrate. Check the berries periodically and rotate the trays if necessary. Test for doneness. To check if the berries are fully dehydrated, remove a few pieces and let them cool. They should be dry and crisp to the touch. If they are still soft or sticky, they need more drying time. 2.3.4 Storing dehydrated berries. Once the berries are fully dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their quality. Here are some tips for storing dehydrated berries. Cool completely. Before storing the berries, make sure they are completely cool. This will prevent any moisture from forming inside the storage container. Use airtight containers. Transfer the dehydrated berries to airtight containers such as glass jars or resealable bags. This will help keep out moisture and prevent the berries from absorbing any odors. Store in a cool, dark place. To extend the shelf life of the berries, store them in a cool, dark place such as a pantry or cupboard. Avoid storing them in direct sunlight or near sources of heat. Label and date. Don't forget to label the containers with the type of berries and the date of dehydration. This will help you keep track of their freshness and ensure you use them before they lose their quality. 2.3.5 Using dehydrated berries. Dehydrated berries can be used in a variety of ways. Here are some ideas. Snack on them. Dehydrated berries make a delicious and healthy snack on their own. Enjoy them straight out of the container or mix them with nuts and seeds for a homemade trail mix. Add to baked goods. Rehydrate the berries by soaking them in water or fruit juice before adding them to baked goods like muffins, cakes, or cookies. They will add a burst of flavor and texture to your recipes. Blend into smoothies. Grind the dehydrated berries into a powder and add them to smoothies for a concentrated burst of fruity goodness. Sprinkle on cereals and yogurt. Add a sprinkle of dehydrated berries to your morning cereal or yogurt for a pop of color and flavor. Use in savory dishes. Dehydrated berries can also be used in savory dishes like salads or grain bowls. They add a unique sweetness and tanginess to the dish. Experiment with different recipes and find creative ways to incorporate dehydrated berries into your meals and snacks. The possibilities are endless. Dehydrating berries is a simple and effective way to preserve their flavors and nutrients. With the right techniques and storage methods, you can enjoy the taste of fresh berries all year round. So go ahead, stock up on your favorite berries and start dehydrating. 2.4 Dried citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are not only delicious and refreshing, but they also offer a wide range of health benefits. From oranges and lemons to grapefruits and limes, these fruits are packed with essential vitamins and minerals that can boost your immune system, improve digestion, and promote overall well-being. While enjoying fresh citrus fruits is a great way to incorporate them into your diet, Dehydrating them can provide a convenient and versatile option for enjoying their flavors and benefits all year round. 2.4.1 Benefits of dried citrus fruits. Drying citrus fruits not only extends their shelf life but also concentrates their flavors, making them a perfect addition to various culinary creations. Here are some of the benefits of incorporating dried citrus fruits into your diet. Intense flavor. When citrus fruits are dehydrated, their natural sugars become more concentrated, resulting in a more intense and vibrant flavor. The drying process also enhances the citrusy aroma, making them a versatile ingredient for both sweet and savory dishes. Convenience. Dried citrus fruits are lightweight and portable, making them an excellent snack option for on the go. They are also easy to store and have a long shelf life, allowing you to enjoy their flavors even when the fruits are out of season. Versatility. Dried citrus fruits can be used in a variety of culinary applications. They can be added to baked goods, such as cakes, cookies, and bread, to infuse them with a burst of citrus flavor. They can also be used as a topping for salads, yogurt, or oatmeal, or incorporated into marinades, dressings, and sauces to add a tangy twist. Nutritional value. Citrus fruits are known for their high vitamin C content, which is essential for a healthy immune system. Drying citrus fruits preserves their nutritional value, including their vitamin C content, making them a convenient way to boost your immune system and support overall health. 2.4.2 How to dehydrate citrus fruits. Dehydrating citrus fruits is a simple process that can be done using a dehydrator or an oven. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to dehydrate citrus fruits. Choose fresh citrus fruits. Select ripe and firm citrus fruits, such as oranges, lemons, grapefruits, or limes. Organic fruits are recommended to avoid any potential pesticide residue. Wash and slice. Thoroughly wash the fruits under running water to remove any dirt or residue. Slice the fruits into thin, even slices using a sharp knife or a mandolin slicer. Make sure the slices are uniform in thickness to ensure even drying. Pre-treat optional. If desired, you can pre-treat the citrus slices to enhance their flavor or preserve their color. You can dip the slices in a mixture of lemon juice and water or sprinkle them with a small amount of sugar or salt. This step is optional and can be skipped if you prefer the natural flavor of the fruits. Arrange on dehydrator trays. Place the citrus slices in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, ensuring that they do not overlap. Leave some space between the slices to allow for proper air circulation and even drying. Dehydrate. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let the citrus slices dry for approximately 8 to 12 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the moisture content of the fruits. Rotate the trays occasionally for even drying. Check for dryness. To check if the citrus slices are fully dried, remove a slice from the dehydrator and let it cool for a few minutes. The slice should be dry and brittle to the touch. If it feels soft or sticky, it needs more drying time. Cool and store. Once the citrus slices are fully dried, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool completely. Store them in airtight containers or resealable bags in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Properly dried citrus slices can last for several months. 2.4.3 Creative ways to use dried citrus fruits. Dried citrus fruits can add a burst of flavor and a touch of elegance to a wide range of dishes. Here are some creative ways to incorporate dried citrus fruits into your culinary creations. Infused water. Add a few slices of dried citrus fruits to a pitcher of water for a refreshing and flavorful twist. The dried fruits will infuse the water with their citrusy essence, making it a delightful and hydrating beverage. Citrus sugar. Grind dried citrus slices into a fine powder and mix it with granulated sugar to create a citrus-infused sugar. Use this aromatic sugar to sprinkle over baked goods, rim cocktail glasses, or sweeten your tea or coffee. Citrus salt. Similarly, you can grind dried citrus slices with sea salt to create a zesty citrus salt. This flavorful salt can be used to season roasted vegetables, grilled meats, or even rim margarita glasses for a tangy kick. Trail mix. Combine dried citrus slices with nuts, seeds, and dried fruits to create a vibrant and energizing trail mix. The citrusy flavor will complement the other ingredients and provide a refreshing twist to your snack. Citrus-infused oil. Add dried citrus slices to a bottle of olive oil or any other neutral oil to infuse it with a citrusy aroma. Use this flavored oil in salad dressings, marinades, or drizzle it over roasted vegetables for a burst of flavor. Citrus granola. Mix dried citrus slices with oats, nuts, seeds, and sweeteners to create a citrus-infused granola. Bake it in the oven until golden and crispy, and enjoy it as a nutritious breakfast or snack option. Citrus spice rub. Grind dried citrus slices with a combination of spices, such as cumin, coriander, and paprika, to create a flavorful citrus spice rub. Use this rub to season meats, tofu, or vegetables before grilling or roasting. With their vibrant flavors and numerous health benefits, dried citrus fruits are a versatile ingredient that can elevate your culinary creations. Whether you use them in sweet or savory dishes, their tangy and refreshing taste will surely delight your taste buds. So, grab some fresh citrus fruits, fire up your dehydrator or oven, and start enjoying the delightful world of dried citrus fruits. 3. Dehydrating vegetables. 3.1 Drying leafy greens. Leafy greens are a nutritious and versatile addition to any vegan diet. They are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that promote overall health and well-being. While leafy greens are commonly consumed fresh in salads and smoothies, dehydrating them can be a great way to preserve their nutrients and extend their shelf life. In this section, we will explore the process of drying leafy greens and provide you with some delicious recipes to try. 3.1.1 Choosing the right leafy greens. When it comes to dehydrating leafy greens, you have a wide variety of options to choose from. Some popular choices include spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and lettuce. Each type of leafy green has its own unique flavor and texture, so feel free to experiment and find your favorites. When selecting leafy greens for dehydration, it's important to choose fresh, vibrant leaves that are free from any signs of wilting or discoloration. This will ensure that you are starting with the highest quality greens and will result in the best final product. 3.1.2 Preparing leafy greens for dehydration. Before dehydrating your leafy greens, it's important to properly wash and prepare them. Start by rinsing the leaves under cold water to remove any dirt or debris. Gently pat them dry with a clean kitchen towel or use a salad spinner to remove excess moisture. Next, remove any tough stems or ribs from the leaves. These can be tough and fibrous, and may not dehydrate evenly. Simply fold the leaf in half lengthwise and cut along the stem to remove it. You can also tear the leaves into smaller, more manageable pieces if desired. 3.1.3 Dehydrating leafy greens. Once your leafy greens are prepared, it's time to start the dehydration process. There are a few different methods you can use to dehydrate your greens, depending on the equipment you have available. Oven method. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use your oven to dry your leafy greens. Preheat your oven to the lowest temperature setting, usually around 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees Celsius. Place the prepared leaves on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, making sure to spread them out in a single layer. Place the baking sheet in the oven and prop the oven door open slightly to allow moisture to escape. This will help to prevent the greens from steaming instead of drying. Leave the greens in the oven for several hours, checking on them periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Dehydrator method. If you have a dehydrator, the process is even easier. Simply arrange the prepared leaves on the dehydrator trays, making sure to leave space between each leaf for air circulation. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and let it run for several hours, or until the greens are completely dry and crispy. 3.1.4 Storing and using dehydrated leafy greens. Once your leafy greens are fully dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their freshness and flavor. Transfer the dried greens to airtight containers, such as glass jars or resealable bags, and store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Dehydrated leafy greens can be stored for several months, but it's best to use them within a year for optimal flavor and quality. To use the dried greens, simply rehydrate them by soaking them in water for a few minutes or adding them directly to soups, stews, or other cooked dishes. 3.1.5 Recipes using dehydrated leafy greens. Here are a few delicious recipes that incorporate dehydrated leafy greens. Green smoothie powder. Ingredients: 1 cup dehydrated leafy greens, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, 1 tablespoon flax seeds, 1 tablespoon spirulina powder. Optional. Instructions: place all the ingredients in a blender or food processor and blend until you have a fine powder. Store the powder in an airtight container. To make a green smoothie, simply add 1 tablespoon of the powder to your favorite smoothie recipe and blend until smooth. Kale chips. Ingredients: 1 bunch kale, washed and dried, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 1 teaspoon sea salt, 1 teaspoon nutritional yeast. Optional. Instructions: preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius. Remove the tough stems from the kale leaves and tear them into bite-sized pieces. In a large bowl, toss the kale with olive oil, sea salt, and nutritional yeast if using. Arrange the kale pieces in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Bake for 10 to 15 minutes, or until the kale is crispy and slightly golden. Allow the kale chips to cool before serving. Spinach powder. Ingredients: 2 cups fresh spinach leaves. Instructions: blanch the spinach leaves in boiling water for 1 to 2 minutes, then immediately transfer them to an ice bath to cool. Drain the spinach leaves and pat them dry with a clean kitchen towel. Spread the leaves out on a dehydrator tray and dry at 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, for 6 to 8 hours, or until completely dry and brittle. Once dry, transfer the leaves to a blender or food processor and blend until you have a fine powder. Store the spinach powder in an airtight container. These recipes are just a starting point, and you can get creative with how you use your dehydrated leafy greens. They can be added to soups, stews, smoothies, sauces, and even baked goods for an extra boost of nutrition and flavor. Enjoy experimenting with different combinations and discovering new ways to incorporate dehydrated leafy greens into your vegan meals. 3.2 Dehydrating root vegetables. Root vegetables are a versatile and nutritious addition to any vegan diet. They are packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber, making them a great choice for dehydrating. Dehydrating root vegetables not only extends their shelf life but also concentrates their flavors, making them a delicious and convenient ingredient for a variety of dishes. In this section, we will explore the different root vegetables that can be dehydrated and provide you with tips and techniques for successful dehydration. 3.2.1 Choosing the right root vegetables. When it comes to dehydrating root vegetables, it's important to choose the right ones that will yield the best results. Some root vegetables are better suited for dehydration than others. Here are a few popular root vegetables that can be dehydrated. Carrots. Carrots are a popular choice for dehydrating due to their natural sweetness and vibrant color. They are rich in beta-carotene, vitamin K, and potassium. When dehydrated, carrots can be used in soups, stews, and as a crunchy snack. Potatoes. Potatoes are a staple in many cuisines and can be dehydrated to create potato chips or flakes. Dehydrated potatoes are a convenient option for camping trips or as an ingredient in homemade instant mashed potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a nutritious root vegetable that can be dehydrated into chips or used as a base for homemade veggie burgers. They are high in fiber, vitamin A, and vitamin C. Beets. Beets are known for their vibrant color and earthy flavor. Dehydrated beets can be used in salads, as a topping for grain bowls, or ground into a powder to add a pop of color to dishes. Parsnips. Parsnips have a sweet and nutty flavor and can be dehydrated into chips or used in soups and stews. They are a good source of fiber, vitamin C, and folate. 3.2.2 Preparing root vegetables for dehydration. Before dehydrating root vegetables, it's important to properly prepare them to ensure even drying and optimal results. Here are the steps to prepare root vegetables for dehydration. Wash the root vegetables thoroughly to remove any dirt or debris. Peel the vegetables if desired, although it's not necessary for all root vegetables. Slice the vegetables into uniform thickness to ensure even drying. A mandolin or a sharp knife can be used for this purpose. Blanch the sliced vegetables in boiling water for a few minutes to help preserve their color and texture. Drain the vegetables and pat them dry with a clean kitchen towel or paper towels. Arrange the sliced vegetables in a single layer on dehydrator trays, making sure they are not touching each other. 3.2.3 Dehydrating root vegetables. Now that your root vegetables are prepared, it's time to start the dehydration process. Follow these steps to dehydrate root vegetables. Set the dehydrator to the recommended temperature for root vegetables, usually around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius. Place the trays with the sliced vegetables into the dehydrator, making sure there is enough space for air circulation. Dehydrate the vegetables for the recommended time, which can vary depending on the type and thickness of the vegetables. It usually takes between 6 to 12 hours for root vegetables to fully dehydrate. Check the vegetables periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Rotate the trays if necessary. The vegetables are ready when they are dry and brittle to the touch. They should not feel soft or have any moisture left. Once the vegetables are fully dehydrated, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool completely. Store the dehydrated root vegetables in airtight containers or resealable bags in a cool, dry place. They can be stored for several months. 3.2.4 Using dehydrated root vegetables. Dehydrated root vegetables can be used in a variety of ways to add flavor and nutrition to your vegan dishes. Here are some ideas for using dehydrated root vegetables. Rehydrate the vegetables by soaking them in water or vegetable broth before using them in soups, stews, or casseroles. Grind dehydrated root vegetables into a powder and use it as a seasoning or flavor enhancer for sauces, dressings, or dips. Add dehydrated root vegetables to homemade veggie burger patties or meatless meatballs for added texture and flavor. Use dehydrated root vegetables as a crunchy topping for salads, grain bowls, or roasted vegetables. Snack on dehydrated root vegetable chips is a healthy alternative to store-bought potato chips. By dehydrating root vegetables, you can enjoy their flavors and nutritional benefits all year round. Experiment with different root vegetables and get creative with how you use them in your vegan recipes. Happy dehydrating. 3.3 Preserving tomatoes. Tomatoes are a versatile and delicious fruit that can be enjoyed in a variety of dishes. Whether you grow your own tomatoes or buy them from the store, dehydrating them is a great way to preserve their flavor and extend their shelf life. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating tomatoes and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 3.3.1 Choosing the right tomatoes. When it comes to dehydrating tomatoes, it's important to choose the right variety. While all tomatoes can be dehydrated, some are better suited for the process than others. Roma tomatoes, also known as plum tomatoes, are a popular choice for dehydrating due to their meaty texture and low moisture content. However, you can also use other varieties such as cherry tomatoes or beefsteak tomatoes. When selecting tomatoes for dehydration, look for ones that are ripe but still firm. Avoid using overripe or mushy tomatoes, as they may not dehydrate properly and can result in a less desirable texture. 3.3.2 Preparing the tomatoes. Before dehydrating the tomatoes, it's important to properly prepare them. Start by washing the tomatoes thoroughly under running water to remove any dirt or debris. Pat them dry with a clean towel. Next, remove the stems and any blemishes from the tomatoes. If desired, you can also remove the skins by blanching the tomatoes in boiling water for a few seconds and then transferring them to an ice bath. The skins should easily peel off after this process. However, keep in mind that leaving the skins on can add extra flavor and texture to the dehydrated tomatoes. Once the tomatoes are prepared, you can choose to slice them or leave them whole, depending on your preference. Slicing the tomatoes into uniform thickness will ensure even drying. 3.3.3 Dehydrating the tomatoes. To dehydrate the tomatoes, you will need a dehydrator. Set the dehydrator to a temperature between 125 degrees Fahrenheit and 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius and 57 degrees Celsius. This temperature range is ideal for dehydrating tomatoes and will help preserve their flavor and nutrients. Arrange the tomato slices or whole tomatoes on the dehydrator trays, making sure to leave space between them for proper air circulation. If you are using multiple trays, rotate them periodically during the drying process to ensure even drying. The drying time for tomatoes can vary depending on their size, thickness, and moisture content. On average, it takes around 6 to 12 hours for tomatoes to fully dehydrate. However, it's important to regularly check the tomatoes for dryness and adjust the drying time accordingly. The tomatoes are ready when they are dry to the touch and have a leathery texture. They should not be brittle or overly pliable. If you are unsure whether the tomatoes are fully dehydrated, you can perform a simple test by cutting one in half. The center should be dry with no visible moisture. 3.3.4 Storing dehydrated tomatoes. Once the tomatoes are fully dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their quality and flavor. Allow the tomatoes to cool completely before storing them to prevent condensation and moisture buildup. Store the dehydrated tomatoes in airtight containers such as glass jars or resealable bags. Make sure to remove as much air as possible from the containers to minimize the risk of moisture absorption. Store the containers in a cool, dry, and dark place such as a pantry or cupboard. Properly stored dehydrated tomatoes can last for several months to a year. However, it's important to regularly check them for any signs of spoilage such as mold or off odors. If you notice any signs of spoilage, discard the affected tomatoes immediately. 3.3.5 Using dehydrated tomatoes. Dehydrated tomatoes can be used in a variety of dishes to add a burst of flavor. Here are some ideas for using your preserved tomatoes. Rehydrate the tomatoes by soaking them in warm water for a few minutes. Once rehydrated, they can be used in salads, pasta dishes, or as a topping for pizzas. Grind the dehydrated tomatoes into a powder and use it as a seasoning for soups, stews, or sauces. Add the dried tomatoes to homemade bread or crackers for a savory twist. Blend the dehydrated tomatoes with herbs and spices to create a flavorful tomato paste or sauce. Use the dried tomatoes as a snack on their own or mix them with other dried fruits and nuts for a homemade trail mix. The possibilities are endless when it comes to using dehydrated tomatoes. Get creative and experiment with different recipes to discover new and exciting ways to incorporate them into your meals. In conclusion, dehydrating tomatoes is a simple and effective way to preserve their flavor and extend their shelf life. By following the steps outlined in this section, you can enjoy the taste of ripe tomatoes all year round. So go ahead, grab some tomatoes, and start dehydrating. 3.4 Dried peppers and chilies. Dried peppers and chilies are a fantastic addition to any vegan pantry. Not only do they add a burst of flavor and heat to dishes, but they also have a long shelf life when properly dehydrated. Whether you prefer mild or spicy, there is a wide variety of peppers and chilies to choose from, each with its own unique taste and heat level. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating peppers and chilies, as well as some creative ways to use them in your vegan recipes. 3.4.1 Choosing the right peppers and chilies. When it comes to dehydrating peppers and chilies, the first step is to choose the right varieties. There are countless types of peppers and chilies available, each with its own distinct flavor profile and heat level. Some popular options include jalapenos, habaneros, serranos, cayenne peppers, and Thai chilies. It's important to consider your personal preference for heat when selecting peppers and chilies for dehydration. If you prefer milder flavors, opt for bell peppers or Anaheim chilies. For those who enjoy a fiery kick, habaneros or Thai chilies are excellent choices. 3.4.2 Preparing peppers and chilies for dehydration. Before dehydrating peppers and chilies, it's essential to properly prepare them. Start by washing the peppers and chilies thoroughly under cold water to remove any dirt or debris. Next, remove the stems and slice them into uniform pieces. The size of the slices will depend on your preference and how you plan to use them later. If you prefer larger pieces, cut them into strips or rings. For smaller, more versatile pieces, dice them into smaller chunks. 3.4.3 Dehydrating peppers and chilies. To dehydrate peppers and chilies, you have several options. One popular method is to use a food dehydrator. Arrange the pepper slices on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are evenly spaced to allow for proper airflow. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and let the peppers and chilies dry for 8 to 12 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the moisture content of the peppers. Check the peppers periodically to ensure they are drying evenly and rotate the trays if necessary. If you don't have a food dehydrator, you can also air dry the peppers and chilies. To do this, place the pepper slices on a wire rack or a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Put them in a well-ventilated area, away from direct sunlight. Allow the peppers to air dry for several days, turning them occasionally to ensure even drying. This method may take longer than using a dehydrator, but it is equally effective. 3.4.4 Storing dried peppers and chilies. Once the peppers and chilies are completely dry, it's time to store them properly to maintain their flavor and quality. Transfer the dried peppers and chilies to airtight containers, such as glass jars or resealable bags. Make sure to label the containers with the type of pepper or chili and the date of dehydration. Store the containers in a cool, dark place, away from moisture and sunlight. When stored correctly, dried peppers and chilies can last for up to a year. 3.4.5 Using dried peppers and chilies in vegan recipes. Dried peppers and chilies are incredibly versatile and can be used in a wide range of vegan recipes. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Grind dried peppers and chilies into a fine powder to create your own homemade chili flakes or chili powder. Use this spice blend to add heat and flavor to soups, stews, sauces, and marinades. Rehydrate dried peppers and chilies by soaking them in hot water for about 20 minutes. Once rehydrated, they can be used in salsas, hot sauces, or blended into a smooth paste for curries and Mexican dishes. Add dried peppers and chilies to homemade spice blends for an extra kick. Combine them with other dried herbs and spices like cumin, coriander, and paprika to create unique flavor profiles for your dishes. Infuse oils with dried peppers and chilies to create spicy flavored oils. Use these oils to drizzle over salads, roasted vegetables, or pasta dishes for an added burst of heat. Use dried peppers and chilies as a topping for pizzas, sandwiches, or wraps. Their intense flavor and heat will elevate any dish and add a delicious kick. Experiment with different types of dried peppers and chilies to discover your favorite flavors and heat levels. Don't be afraid to get creative and try new combinations in your vegan recipes. Dried peppers and chilies are a fantastic way to add depth and complexity to your dishes while keeping them vegan-friendly. Enjoy the versatility and long shelf life of these dehydrated delights. 3.5 Dehydrating mushrooms. Mushrooms are a versatile and flavorful ingredient that can be used in a variety of dishes. By dehydrating mushrooms, you can extend their shelf life and enhance their flavor. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating mushrooms and provide you with tips and techniques to ensure successful results. 3.5.1 Choosing the right mushrooms. When it comes to dehydrating mushrooms, it is important to choose the right variety. While most mushrooms can be dehydrated, some are better suited for this process than others. Here are a few popular mushroom varieties that dehydrate well. Button mushrooms. These are the most common and widely available mushrooms. They have a mild flavor and dehydrate beautifully, retaining their shape and flavor. Shiitake mushrooms. Known for their rich and savory flavor, shiitake mushrooms are a popular choice for dehydrating. They add a deep umami taste to dishes when rehydrated. Porcini mushrooms. With their intense earthy flavor, porcini mushrooms are highly sought after in the culinary world. Dehydrating them intensifies their flavor, making them a great addition to soups, stews, and risottos. Morel mushrooms. Morels have a unique and distinctive flavor that is highly prized by mushroom enthusiasts. Dehydrating them concentrates their flavor, making them a valuable ingredient in gourmet dishes. Oyster mushrooms. These mushrooms have a delicate and slightly sweet flavor. Dehydrating oyster mushrooms enhances their umami taste, making them a great addition to stir-fries and pasta dishes. 3.5.2 Preparing the mushrooms. Before dehydrating mushrooms, it is important to properly clean and prepare them. Here is a step-by-step guide to preparing mushrooms for dehydration. Clean the mushrooms. Start by gently brushing off any dirt or debris from the mushrooms using a soft brush or a damp cloth. Avoid washing them as mushrooms tend to absorb water, which can affect the drying process. Slice or dice the mushrooms. Depending on your preference, you can either slice the mushrooms into thin, even slices or dice them into small pieces. Keep in mind that thinner slices will dehydrate faster. Optional pre-treatment. Some people prefer to pre-treat mushrooms before dehydrating them to enhance their flavor and texture. One common method is to blanch the mushrooms in boiling water for a minute or two, then immediately transfer them to an ice bath to stop the cooking process. This step can help preserve the color and texture of the mushrooms. 3.5.3 Dehydrating the mushrooms. Once the mushrooms are prepared, it's time to dehydrate them. Here are the steps to dehydrating mushrooms. Arrange the mushrooms. Place the sliced or diced mushrooms in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Make sure to leave some space between the mushrooms to allow for proper air circulation. Set the temperature. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. This low temperature will gently remove the moisture from the mushrooms without cooking them. Dehydrate until crisp. The drying time will vary depending on the size and moisture content of the mushrooms. It can take anywhere from 4 to 12 hours. Check the mushrooms periodically and remove them from the dehydrator once they are completely dry and crisp. Cool and store. Allow the dehydrated mushrooms to cool completely before storing them. Once cooled, transfer them to airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags. Store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. 3.5.4 Rehydrating and using dehydrated mushrooms. To rehydrate dehydrated mushrooms, simply soak them in warm water for about 20 to 30 minutes until they become plump and tender. You can then use them in various dishes such as soups, stews, stir-fries, pasta sauces, and risottos. The rehydrated mushrooms will regain their original texture and flavor, adding depth and richness to your recipes. Dehydrated mushrooms can also be ground into a powder and used as a seasoning or flavor enhancer in sauces, gravies, and marinades. The powder can be easily incorporated into recipes, providing a concentrated mushroom flavor. 3.5.5 Tips for successful dehydrating. Here are some additional tips to ensure successful dehydrating of mushrooms. Use fresh mushrooms. Start with fresh, high-quality mushrooms for the best results. Mushrooms that are past their prime may not dehydrate well and can affect the overall flavor and texture. Uniform slicing. Try to slice the mushrooms into uniform thickness to ensure even drying. This will help prevent some pieces from drying faster than others. Proper storage. To maintain the quality of dehydrated mushrooms, store them in airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags. This will protect them from moisture and extend their shelf life. Label and date. Don't forget to label your dehydrated mushrooms with the date of dehydration. This will help you keep track of their freshness and ensure you use them within a reasonable time frame. Experiment with different varieties. Don't be afraid to try dehydrating different mushroom varieties to discover new flavors and textures. Each variety has its own unique characteristics that can add depth and complexity to your dishes. By dehydrating mushrooms, you can enjoy their rich flavors and unique textures all year round. Whether you use them as a standalone ingredient or as a flavor enhancer, dehydrated mushrooms are a valuable addition to any vegan pantry. 3.6 Drying herbs. Drying herbs is a fantastic way to preserve their flavors and aromas for future use. Whether you have an abundant herb garden or simply want to make the most of store-bought herbs, dehydrating them is a simple and effective method. In this section, we will explore the process of drying herbs and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 3.6.1 Choosing the right herbs. When it comes to drying herbs, you have a wide variety of options to choose from. Some popular herbs for drying include basil, thyme, rosemary, oregano, parsley, and mint. However, you can dry almost any herb you have on hand. It's important to note that different herbs have different drying times and methods, so it's essential to research the specific herb you plan to dry. 3.6.2 Harvesting herbs. The best time to harvest herbs for drying is in the morning, after the dew has evaporated but before the sun is at its peak. This is when the essential oils in the herbs are at their highest concentration, ensuring maximum flavor and aroma. Use sharp scissors or pruning shears to cut the herbs, making sure to leave enough stem for tying them into bundles. 3.6.3 Preparing herbs for drying. Once you have harvested your herbs, it's important to remove any dirt or insects. Gently shake the herbs to remove any loose debris, and then rinse them under cool water if necessary. Pat them dry with a clean towel or allow them to air dry completely before proceeding. 3.6.4 Drying methods. There are several methods you can use to dry herbs, depending on your preference and available resources. Here are 3 common methods. 3.6.4.1 Air drying. Air drying is the simplest and most traditional method of drying herbs. To air dry herbs, gather small bunches of herbs and tie them together with a string or a rubber band. Hang the bundles upside down in a well-ventilated area away from direct sunlight. Make sure the herbs are not touching each other to allow for proper airflow. It usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks for the herbs to dry completely using this method. 3.6.4.2 Oven drying. If you're short on time or live in a humid climate, oven drying is a great alternative. Preheat your oven to the lowest temperature setting, usually around 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. Place the herbs on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, making sure they are spread out in a single layer. Leave the oven door slightly ajar to allow moisture to escape. Check the herbs regularly, as they can dry quickly in the oven. It usually takes about 1 to 2 hours for the herbs to dry using this method. 3.6.4.3 Dehydrator drying. Using a dehydrator is another convenient method for drying herbs. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for your specific dehydrator model. Generally, you'll want to spread the herbs out in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not overlapping. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius, and let it run until the herbs are completely dry. The drying time will vary depending on the herb and the dehydrator model. 3.6.5 Storing dried herbs. Once your herbs are completely dry, it's time to store them properly to maintain their quality. Remove the leaves from the stems and crumble them into small pieces. Store the dried herbs in airtight containers, such as glass jars or resealable bags, in a cool, dark place. Label the containers with the herb name and date of drying to keep track of their freshness. Properly stored dried herbs can last for up to 1 year, although they may start to lose their potency after several months. 3.6.6 Tips for successful herb drying. To ensure successful herb drying, here are some additional tips to keep in mind. Choose herbs that are fresh and free from blemishes or signs of decay. Avoid washing the herbs unless necessary, as excess moisture can lead to mold growth during the drying process. If air drying, make sure the herbs are protected from dust and pests. Check the herbs regularly during the drying process to ensure they are not becoming moldy or discolored. Store dried herbs away from direct sunlight, as exposure to light can cause them to lose their flavor and color. Consider investing in a herb grinder or mortar and pestle to easily crush dried herbs when needed. By drying your own herbs, you can enjoy the flavors and aromas of fresh herbs all year round. Experiment with different herbs and drying methods to find your favorites. Whether you use them in cooking, teas, or homemade beauty products, dried herbs are a versatile and valuable addition to any vegan kitchen. 4. Dehydrating grains and legumes. 4.1 Drying rice and quinoa. Drying rice and quinoa is a great way to extend their shelf life and make them more convenient to use in your vegan recipes. Whether you are a seasoned dehydrating enthusiast or just starting out, drying rice and quinoa is a simple and straightforward process that can be done with minimal effort and equipment. In this section, we will explore the benefits of drying rice and quinoa, the steps involved in the drying process, and some tips for successful dehydration. 4.1.1 Benefits of drying rice and quinoa. Drying rice and quinoa offers several benefits that make it a worthwhile technique for any vegan kitchen. Here are some of the key advantages. Extended shelf life. By removing the moisture from rice and quinoa, you can significantly extend their shelf life. This means that you can stock up on these staples and have them readily available for your meals without worrying about them spoiling. Convenience. Dried rice and quinoa are lightweight and compact, making them ideal for camping trips, backpacking adventures, or any situation where space and weight are limited. They are also easy to store and transport, allowing you to have a nutritious and versatile food option wherever you go. Versatility. Dried rice and quinoa can be rehydrated and used in a variety of dishes, from salads and stir-fries to soups and stews. They retain their nutritional value and texture, making them a versatile ingredient for your vegan recipes. Cost-effective. Buying rice and quinoa in bulk and drying them yourself can be a cost-effective way to incorporate these nutritious grains into your diet. It allows you to take advantage of sales or discounts and reduces the need for frequent grocery store visits. 4.1.2 Drying rice and quinoa. Drying rice and quinoa is a simple process that involves removing the moisture from the grains. Here are the steps to follow. Preparation. Start by rinsing the rice or quinoa thoroughly to remove any dirt or debris. Drain the grains well and spread them out on a clean kitchen towel or paper towels to remove excess moisture. Spread the grains. Evenly spread the rice or quinoa on the dehydrator trays, making sure to leave space between the grains for proper air circulation. Avoid overcrowding the trays, as this can lead to uneven drying. Set the temperature. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, for rice and 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, for quinoa. The drying time will vary depending on the moisture content and the type of dehydrator you are using. Refer to the manufacturer's instructions for specific guidelines. Monitor the drying process. Check the grains periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Rotate the trays if necessary to promote uniform drying. The drying time can range from 4 to 8 hours, depending on the humidity levels and the desired dryness. Test for dryness. To determine if the rice or quinoa is fully dried, take a few grains and allow them to cool. If they are hard and brittle, they are ready. If they still have a soft or chewy texture, they need more drying time. Cool and store. Once the grains are fully dried, allow them to cool completely before transferring them to airtight containers or resealable bags. Store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. 4.1.3 Tips for successful dehydration. To ensure successful dehydration of rice and quinoa, consider the following tips. Quality grains. Start with high-quality rice and quinoa to achieve the best results. Look for grains that are free from any signs of spoilage or insect damage. Even thickness. For more consistent drying, try to use grains that are of similar size and thickness. This will help ensure that they dry at the same rate. Proper storage. Store the dried rice and quinoa in airtight containers or resealable bags to prevent moisture absorption. Label the containers with the date of drying to keep track of their freshness. Rehydration. When you are ready to use the dried rice or quinoa, simply soak them in water or vegetable broth for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they are soft and fully rehydrated. You can then cook them as you would normally cook fresh rice or quinoa. By following these simple steps and tips, you can easily dry rice and quinoa to enjoy their benefits in your vegan cooking. Experiment with different varieties and flavors to add a nutritious and versatile element to your meals. Happy dehydrating. 4.2 Dehydrating beans and lentils. Beans and lentils are versatile and nutritious ingredients that can be easily dehydrated for long-term storage. Dehydrating beans and lentils not only extends their shelf life but also makes them lightweight and convenient for outdoor adventures or quick meals at home. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating beans and lentils, as well as provide some delicious recipes and tips for successful dehydration. 4.2.1 Choosing the right beans and lentils. When it comes to dehydrating beans and lentils, it's important to start with high-quality ingredients. Look for beans and lentils that are fresh, free from any signs of damage or mold, and have been properly stored. Popular varieties for dehydration include black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, and split peas. These legumes are not only rich in protein and fiber but also offer a wide range of flavors and textures. 4.2.2 Preparing beans and lentils for dehydration. Before dehydrating beans and lentils, it's essential to properly prepare them to ensure even drying and optimal results. Here's a step-by-step guide to preparing beans and lentils for dehydration. Sort and rinse. Start by sorting through the beans or lentils to remove any debris or damaged pieces. Rinse them thoroughly under cold water to remove any dirt or impurities. Soak optional. Soaking beans and lentils overnight can help reduce cooking time and improve digestibility. If you choose to soak them, cover the legumes with water and let them sit for at least 8 hours or overnight. Drain and rinse before proceeding. Cook optional. While it's not necessary to cook beans and lentils before dehydrating, some people prefer to partially cook them to ensure they are fully cooked when rehydrated. If you decide to cook them, follow the instructions on the package or cook until they are just tender. Drain and cool. After soaking or cooking, drain the beans or lentils and spread them out on a clean towel or baking sheet to cool completely. Excess moisture can hinder the dehydration process, so make sure they are dry before proceeding. 4.2.3 Dehydrating beans and lentils. Now that your beans and lentils are prepared, it's time to dehydrate them. Here's how to do it. Spread evenly. Arrange the cooked and cooled beans or lentils in a single layer on dehydrator trays. Make sure they are evenly spaced to allow for proper airflow. Set the temperature. Set your dehydrator to a low temperature, around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and turn it on. The drying time will vary depending on the type and size of the legumes, as well as the humidity in your environment. Check for dryness. After a few hours, check the beans or lentils for dryness. They should be hard and brittle to the touch. If they are still soft or pliable, continue drying them until they reach the desired texture. Cool and store. Once fully dehydrated, remove the beans or lentils from the dehydrator and let them cool completely. Store them in airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags in a cool, dry place. Properly dehydrated beans and lentils can last for up to a year or more. 4.2.4 Rehydrating and using dehydrated beans and lentils. To rehydrate dehydrated beans and lentils, simply soak them in water for a few hours or overnight until they become soft and plump. You can then use them in various recipes, such as soups, stews, salads, or even as a standalone side dish. The rehydration time will depend on the type and size of the legumes, so be sure to check the package instructions or adjust accordingly. Here are some delicious recipes to try using dehydrated beans and lentils. Dehydrated black bean soup. Rehydrate black beans and combine them with vegetable broth, diced tomatoes, onions, garlic, and spices. Simmer until the flavors melt together, and serve with a dollop of vegan sour cream and fresh cilantro. Lentil salad with dehydrated vegetables. Rehydrate lentils and mix them with dehydrated vegetables like bell peppers, onions, and tomatoes. Toss with a tangy vinaigrette dressing and serve chilled as a refreshing and nutritious salad. Chickpea curry with dehydrated rice. Rehydrate chickpeas and serve them in a flavorful curry sauce made with coconut milk, spices, and dehydrated rice. This hearty and satisfying dish is perfect for a quick and easy weeknight dinner. 4.2.5 Tips for successful dehydration. To ensure successful dehydration of beans and lentils, consider the following tips. Properly store dehydrated legumes in airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags to maintain their freshness and prevent moisture absorption. Label your containers with the type of legume and the date of dehydration to keep track of their shelf life. Experiment with different spices and seasonings to add flavor to your dehydrated beans and lentils. Try options like chili powder, cumin, garlic powder, or dried herbs. Consider adding dehydrated beans and lentils to your homemade trail mix or granola for an extra boost of protein and fiber. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can also dehydrate beans and lentils in the oven on the lowest temperature setting with the door slightly ajar to allow for airflow. Dehydrating beans and lentils is a fantastic way to preserve these nutritious ingredients and have them readily available for a variety of meals. With the right techniques and a little experimentation, you can enjoy the convenience and versatility of dehydrated legumes in your vegan cooking. 4.3 Preserving pasta. Pasta is a staple in many households, and it's no wonder why. It's versatile, easy to cook, and delicious. But did you know that you can also dehydrate pasta to preserve it for longer periods of time? Dehydrating pasta is a great way to ensure that you always have a supply of this pantry staple on hand, whether you're preparing for a camping trip or simply want to stock up on your favorite pasta varieties. 4.3.1 Choosing the right pasta. When it comes to dehydrating pasta, not all types are created equal. Some pasta shapes and sizes dehydrate better than others. It's important to choose pasta that will hold its shape and texture well after the dehydration process. Here are some pasta varieties that are ideal for dehydrating. Short and sturdy shapes. Pasta shapes like penne, rigatoni, and fusilli are great choices for dehydrating. These shapes hold up well during the drying process and rehydrate nicely when cooked. Thin and delicate shapes. Thin pasta shapes like angel hair or spaghetti can also be dehydrated successfully. However, they may become more fragile and prone to breaking during the drying process. Whole wheat or gluten-free pasta. If you prefer whole wheat or gluten-free pasta, you can also dehydrate these varieties. Just keep in mind that they may have a slightly different texture after rehydration. 4.3.2 Preparing pasta for dehydration. Before you can dehydrate pasta, it's important to properly prepare it. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to prepare pasta for dehydration. Cook the pasta. Start by cooking the pasta according to the package instructions. Be sure to cook it al dente, as overcooked pasta may become mushy after dehydration. Drain and cool. Once the pasta is cooked, drain it and rinse it under cold water to stop the cooking process. This will also help remove any excess starch. Spread on dehydrator trays. Spread the cooked pasta in a single layer on dehydrator trays. Make sure the pasta pieces are not touching each other to ensure even drying. Dehydrate at a low temperature. Set your dehydrator to a low temperature, around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let the pasta dry for several hours. The drying time will depend on the thickness of the pasta and the humidity in your environment. Check for dryness. After a few hours, check the pasta for dryness. It should be completely dry and brittle to the touch. If it's still slightly soft or pliable, continue drying for a bit longer. 4.3.3 Storing dehydrated pasta. Once your pasta is fully dehydrated, it's time to store it properly to ensure its long-term preservation. Here are some tips for storing dehydrated pasta. Cool completely. Allow the dehydrated pasta to cool completely before storing it. This will prevent any residual moisture from causing condensation inside the storage container. Choose airtight containers. Transfer the dehydrated pasta to airtight containers such as glass jars or food-grade plastic bags. Make sure the containers are clean and dry before adding the pasta. Label and date. Don't forget to label the containers with the type of pasta and the date of dehydration. This will help you keep track of the pasta's freshness and rotation. Store in a cool, dark place. To maintain the quality of the dehydrated pasta, store it in a cool, dark place away from direct sunlight and heat sources. A pantry or cupboard is an ideal location. Use oxygen absorbers. For even longer shelf life, consider adding oxygen absorbers to the storage containers. These packets help remove any remaining oxygen, which can cause the pasta to spoil over time. 4.3.4 Rehydrating dehydrated pasta. When you're ready to use your dehydrated pasta, it's time to rehydrate it. Here's how to rehydrate dehydrated pasta. Boil water. Start by bringing a pot of water to a boil. The amount of water will depend on the quantity of pasta you're rehydrating. Add the pasta. Once the water is boiling, add the dehydrated pasta and cook it for a few minutes. The exact cooking time will vary depending on the type of pasta and how finely it was dehydrated. Check for doneness. After a few minutes, check the pasta for doneness. It should be tender but still have a slight bite to it. If it's not fully rehydrated, continue cooking for a bit longer. Drain and serve. Once the pasta is fully rehydrated, drain it and use it in your favorite recipes, just like you would with fresh pasta. By dehydrating and preserving pasta, you can enjoy the convenience of having this versatile ingredient readily available whenever you need it. Whether you're preparing for outdoor adventures or simply want to stock up on your favorite pasta varieties, dehydrating pasta is a great way to extend its shelf life without compromising its taste and texture. So go ahead and give it a try, you'll never run out of pasta again. 4.4 Dried grains and flours. Drying grains and flours is a fantastic way to extend their shelf life and ensure that you always have a supply of these essential ingredients on hand. Whether you're a vegan baker or simply enjoy incorporating grains into your meals, dehydrating grains and flours can be a game changer in your kitchen. In this section, we will explore the process of drying grains and flours, the benefits of doing so, and some tips for successful dehydration. 4.4.1 Choosing the right grains and flours. When it comes to dehydrating grains and flours, you have a wide variety of options to choose from. Some popular choices include rice, quinoa, oats, wheat, barley, and corn. These grains can be used in a multitude of recipes, from bread and pasta to soups and stews. Additionally, you can also dehydrate various flours such as wheat flour, almond flour, oat flour, and coconut flour. When selecting grains and flours for dehydration, it's important to choose high-quality, organic options whenever possible. This ensures that you are preserving the nutritional value of the grains and avoiding any potential exposure to harmful pesticides or chemicals. 4.4.2 Preparing grains and flours for dehydration. Before you begin the dehydration process, it's essential to properly prepare your grains and flours. For whole grains like rice, quinoa, and oats, rinse them thoroughly under cold water to remove any dirt or debris. Then, soak them in water for a few hours or overnight to help soften the grains and reduce the drying time. For flours, there is no need for soaking or rinsing. However, it's crucial to ensure that the flours are stored in a cool, dry place to prevent moisture absorption and spoilage. 4.4.3 Dehydrating grains and flours. To dehydrate grains and flours, you will need a dehydrator with adjustable temperature settings. Follow these steps to ensure successful dehydration. Spread the grains or flours evenly on the dehydrator trays, making sure not to overcrowd them. This allows for proper air circulation and even drying. Set the dehydrator temperature to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius, for grains and 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius, for flours. The drying time will vary depending on the type and quantity of grains or flours you are dehydrating. Leave the grains or flours in the dehydrator until they are completely dry and brittle. This can take anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, depending on the moisture content and thickness of the grains or flours. Check the grains or flours periodically during the drying process to ensure they are drying evenly. If you notice any clumps or moisture, break them apart and continue drying. Once the grains or flours are fully dehydrated, remove them from the dehydrator and allow them to cool completely before storing. 4.4.4 Storing dried grains and flours. Proper storage is crucial to maintain the quality and freshness of your dried grains and flours. Follow these guidelines for optimal storage. Transfer the dried grains and flours to airtight containers such as glass jars or food-grade plastic bags. Make sure to label them with the date of dehydration for easy reference. Store the containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, away from direct sunlight and moisture. This will help prevent the grains and flours from spoiling or becoming rancid. It's recommended to use the dried grains and flours within 6 months to a year for optimal flavor and quality. Over time, the nutritional value may decrease, and the taste may become stale. If you live in a humid climate or notice any signs of moisture in the containers, you can add a food-grade desiccant packet to absorb excess moisture and prolong the shelf life. 4.4.5 Benefits of dried grains and flours. Dehydrating grains and flours offers several benefits that make it a worthwhile practice in your vegan kitchen. Extended shelf life. Drying grains and flours significantly extends their shelf life compared to their fresh counterparts. This allows you to stock up on your favorite grains and flours without worrying about them spoiling. Convenience. Having a supply of dried grains and flours on hand means you can easily whip up a meal or bake a delicious treat without having to make a trip to the grocery store. Cost savings. Buying grains and flours in bulk and dehydrating them yourself can be a cost-effective way to incorporate these essential ingredients into your vegan diet. Nutritional value. Drying grains and flours preserves their nutritional content, including vitamins, minerals, and fiber. This ensures that you are getting the maximum nutritional benefit from these ingredients. Versatility. Dried grains and flours can be used in a wide range of recipes, from savory dishes like stir-fries and salads to sweet treats like cookies and cakes. The possibilities are endless. 4.4.6 Tips for successful dehydration. To ensure successful dehydration of grains and flours, keep the following tips in mind. Use high-quality grains and flours for the best results. Organic options are preferable to avoid exposure to pesticides and chemicals. Properly prepare the grains by rinsing and soaking them before dehydration. This helps soften the grains and reduces the drying time. Spread the grains or flours evenly on the dehydrator trays, ensuring proper air circulation for even drying. Check the grains or flours periodically during the drying process to ensure they are drying evenly. Break apart any clumps or moisture to promote thorough drying. Store the dried grains and flours in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place to maintain their quality and freshness. By dehydrating grains and flours, you can enjoy the convenience of having these essential ingredients readily available while preserving their nutritional value. Experiment with different grains and flours to add variety and versatility to your vegan cooking and baking endeavors. Happy dehydrating. 5. Dehydrating nuts and seeds. 5.1 Drying almonds. Almonds are a versatile and nutritious nut that can be enjoyed in a variety of ways. Whether you want to snack on them, use them in recipes, or incorporate them into your homemade granola or trail mix, drying almonds is a great way to preserve their freshness and extend their shelf life. In this section, we will explore the process of drying almonds and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 5.1.1 Selecting and preparing almonds. When it comes to drying almonds, it is important to start with high-quality nuts. Look for almonds that are fresh, plump, and free from any signs of mold or damage. You can choose to use raw almonds or blanched almonds, depending on your preference. Before drying the almonds, it is recommended to soak them in water overnight. This step helps to soften the almonds and remove any dirt or impurities. After soaking, drain the almonds and rinse them thoroughly under cold water. Pat them dry with a clean towel to remove excess moisture. 5.1.2 Drying methods. There are several methods you can use to dry almonds, including using a dehydrator, oven, or air drying. Each method has its advantages and considerations, so choose the one that suits your needs and equipment availability. 5.1.2.1 Dehydrator method. Using a dehydrator is one of the most efficient ways to dry almonds. Follow these steps to dry almonds using a dehydrator. Spread the soaked and drained almonds in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Make sure to leave some space between the almonds for proper air circulation. Set the dehydrator temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let the almonds dry for approximately 12 to 24 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the moisture content of the almonds and the dehydrator model. Check the almonds periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Rotate the trays if necessary. The almonds are ready when they are crisp and brittle. They should break easily when pressed between your fingers. 5.1.2.2 Oven method. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can also dry almonds in the oven. Here's how. Preheat your oven to the lowest temperature setting, usually around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees Celsius. Spread the soaked and drained almonds in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or a silicone mat. Place the baking sheet in the oven and prop the oven door open slightly to allow moisture to escape. Let the almonds dry for approximately 2 to 4 hours, checking them regularly to ensure they don't burn. The almonds are ready when they are dry and crisp. They should break easily when pressed between your fingers. 5.1.2.3 Air drying method. Air drying is a more traditional method of drying almonds, but it requires a longer drying time compared to using a dehydrator or oven. Here's how you can air dry almonds. Spread the soaked and drained almonds in a single layer on a clean, dry surface such as a baking sheet or a wire rack. Place the almonds in a well-ventilated area with good air circulation. Avoid direct sunlight, as it can cause the almonds to become rancid. Allow the almonds to air dry for several days, turning them occasionally to ensure even drying. The almonds are ready when they are dry and crisp. They should break easily when pressed between your fingers. 5.1.3 Storing dried almonds. Once the almonds are completely dry, it is important to store them properly to maintain their freshness and flavor. Follow these guidelines for storing dried almonds. Allow the almonds to cool completely before storing them. Transfer the dried almonds to airtight containers such as glass jars or resealable bags. Store the almonds in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight and moisture. Label the containers with the date of drying to keep track of their freshness. Properly stored dried almonds can last for several months to a year. 5.1.4 Tips and Tricks. Here are some additional tips and tricks to help you achieve the best results when drying almonds. If you prefer a roasted flavor, you can roast the soaked almonds in the oven or dehydrator before drying them. This will give the almonds a slightly nuttier and more intense flavor. Experiment with different seasonings and spices to add flavor to your dried almonds. You can toss them with cinnamon, cocoa powder, or a sprinkle of sea salt before drying. Consider blanching the almonds before drying if you prefer a smoother texture. Blanching involves briefly boiling the almonds and then removing their skins. To enhance the flavor of your dried almonds, you can soak them in a flavored liquid such as almond extract or vanilla extract before drying. Dried almonds can be used in a variety of recipes, including salads, baked goods, and homemade nut milk. Get creative and explore different ways to incorporate them into your meals and snacks. Drying almonds is a simple and rewarding process that allows you to enjoy the natural goodness of this nutritious nut for an extended period. By following the steps outlined in this section and experimenting with different flavors and techniques, you can create delicious and versatile dried almonds that will enhance your vegan culinary creations. 5.2 Dehydrating walnuts. Walnuts are not only a delicious and nutritious snack, but they can also be dehydrated to enhance their flavor and extend their shelf life. Dehydrating walnuts is a simple process that can be done using a food dehydrator or an oven. In this section, we will explore the steps to dehydrate walnuts and discuss some creative ways to use them in your vegan recipes. 5.2.1 Preparing the walnuts. Before you begin dehydrating walnuts, it is important to start with fresh, high-quality nuts. Look for walnuts that are plump, with a smooth and unblemished shell. It is recommended to purchase walnuts in their shell to ensure freshness. If you have walnuts that are already shelled, make sure they are not rancid or have any off odors. To prepare the walnuts for dehydration, start by removing the shells if necessary. You can crack the shells using a nutcracker or a similar tool. Once the shells are removed, inspect the walnuts for any damaged or discolored pieces. Discard any walnuts that appear spoiled or have a bitter taste. 5.2.2 Dehydrating process. To dehydrate walnuts, you have two options, using a food dehydrator or an oven. Both methods are effective, but the dehydrator offers more precise temperature control and airflow, resulting in better results. 5.2.2.1 Using a food dehydrator. If you have a food dehydrator, follow these steps to dehydrate walnuts. Preheat the dehydrator to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. This temperature is ideal for preserving the nutrients and enzymes in the walnuts while removing moisture. Spread the walnuts in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not touching each other. This allows for proper airflow and even drying. Place the trays in the dehydrator and set the timer for 12 to 24 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the moisture content of the walnuts and the dehydrator model. Check the walnuts periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Rotate the trays if necessary. The walnuts are ready when they are dry and crisp to the touch. They should not feel soft or have any moisture left. Once the walnuts are fully dehydrated, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool completely before storing. 5.2.2.2 Using an oven. If you don't have a food dehydrator, you can still dehydrate walnuts using your oven. Here's how. Preheat your oven to the lowest temperature setting, usually around 150 degrees Fahrenheit, 65 degrees Celsius. Make sure the oven temperature is accurate by using an oven thermometer. Spread the walnuts in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Avoid overcrowding the walnuts to ensure even drying. Place the baking sheet in the oven and prop the oven door open slightly to allow moisture to escape. This helps to maintain a low and consistent temperature. Let the walnuts dry in the oven for 12 to 24 hours, checking them periodically for doneness. The walnuts are ready when they are dry and crisp. They should not feel soft or have any moisture left. Once the walnuts are fully dehydrated, remove them from the oven and let them cool completely before storing. 5.2.3 Storing dehydrated walnuts. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality and freshness of dehydrated walnuts. Follow these guidelines to store your dehydrated walnuts. Allow the walnuts to cool completely before storing them. This helps to prevent condensation and moisture buildup. Transfer the walnuts to airtight containers such as glass jars or resealable bags. Make sure the containers are clean and dry. Store the walnuts in a cool, dark, and dry place, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. A pantry or cupboard is an ideal location. Label the containers with the date of dehydration to keep track of their freshness. Properly stored dehydrated walnuts can last for up to 6 months. However, for the best flavor and quality, it is recommended to consume them within 3 to 4 months. 5.2.4 Creative uses for dehydrated walnuts. Dehydrated walnuts can be used in a variety of vegan recipes to add a crunchy texture and nutty flavor. Here are some creative ways to incorporate dehydrated walnuts into your dishes. Snack on them as they are for a quick and healthy snack. Add them to homemade granola or trail mix for an extra crunch. Grind them into a fine powder and use it as a topping for smoothie bowls or desserts. Chop them and sprinkle over salads or roasted vegetables for added texture and flavor. Use them as a topping for vegan yogurt or oatmeal. Blend them with other dried fruits and nuts to make your own homemade energy bars. Incorporate them into vegan baked goods such as cookies, muffins, or bread for a nutty twist. Experiment with different recipes and find your favorite ways to enjoy dehydrated walnuts. They are a versatile ingredient that can elevate the taste and texture of your vegan dishes. In the next section, we will explore the process of dehydrating sunflower seeds and discuss their various culinary uses in vegan cooking. 5.3 Preserving sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are a popular and nutritious snack that can be enjoyed on their own or added to a variety of dishes. They are rich in healthy fats, protein, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. By dehydrating sunflower seeds, you can extend their shelf life and enjoy their crunchy texture and nutty flavor for longer periods. 5.3.1 Benefits of dehydrating sunflower seeds. Dehydrating sunflower seeds offers several benefits. Firstly, it helps to remove the moisture content from the seeds, which inhibits the growth of bacteria, mold, and yeast. This preservation method also helps to retain the nutritional value of the seeds, as dehydration does not significantly affect their nutrient content. Dehydrated sunflower seeds are lightweight and compact, making them an ideal snack for outdoor activities such as hiking, camping, or backpacking. They can be easily stored in airtight containers or resealable bags, taking up minimal space in your backpack or pantry. Another advantage of dehydrating sunflower seeds is that it allows you to customize the flavor. You can experiment with different seasonings and spices to create unique and delicious variations. Whether you prefer a savory or sweet taste, dehydrating sunflower seeds gives you the freedom to tailor the flavor to your liking. 5.3.2 How to dehydrate sunflower seeds. Dehydrating sunflower seeds is a simple process that can be done using a dehydrator or an oven. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to dehydrate sunflower seeds. Start by selecting fresh and high-quality sunflower seeds. Ensure that they are clean and free from any debris or shells. If the sunflower seeds are still in their shells, you will need to remove them. This can be done by cracking the shells open using a nutcracker or your fingers. Alternatively, you can purchase pre-shelled sunflower seeds for convenience. Rinse the sunflower seeds under cold water to remove any remaining dirt or debris. Pat them dry using a clean kitchen towel or paper towels. Preheat your dehydrator or oven to a low temperature, around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius. If using an oven, spread the sunflower seeds evenly on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. If desired, you can season the sunflower seeds with salt, spices, or herbs. Toss them gently to ensure even coating. Place the sunflower seeds in a single layer on the dehydrator trays or baking sheet. Make sure they are not overlapping to ensure proper airflow. If using a dehydrator, set the temperature to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius, and let the seeds dry for approximately 8 to 12 hours. If using an oven, keep the temperature as low as possible and leave the door slightly ajar to allow moisture to escape. Check the seeds regularly and rotate the trays or stir them to ensure even drying. The sunflower seeds are ready when they are dry, crisp, and easily breakable. They should not feel soft or have any moisture remaining. Once the sunflower seeds are fully dehydrated, remove them from the dehydrator or oven and let them cool completely. Store them in airtight containers or resealable bags in a cool, dry place. 5.3.3 Storing dehydrated sunflower seeds. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality and freshness of dehydrated sunflower seeds. Here are some tips for storing your dehydrated sunflower seeds. Ensure that the sunflower seeds are completely cooled before storing them. Any residual heat can create condensation and lead to moisture buildup, which can cause the seeds to spoil. Transfer the dehydrated sunflower seeds to airtight containers or resealable bags. Make sure to remove as much air as possible to prevent oxidation and maintain their crispness. Store the containers or bags in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Sunlight and heat can accelerate the degradation process and reduce the shelf life of the seeds. Label the containers or bags with the date of dehydration to keep track of their freshness. Dehydrated sunflower seeds can typically be stored for up to 6 months to a year, depending on the storage conditions. Avoid storing dehydrated sunflower seeds near strong-smelling foods or spices, as they can absorb odors easily. By following these storage guidelines, you can enjoy your dehydrated sunflower seeds for an extended period, ensuring that they remain fresh, crunchy, and full of flavor. 5.3.4 Creative ways to use dehydrated sunflower seeds. Dehydrated sunflower seeds can be used in a variety of ways to enhance the taste and texture of your dishes. Here are some creative ideas to incorporate dehydrated sunflower seeds into your meals. Snack on them. Dehydrated sunflower seeds make a nutritious and satisfying snack on their own. Enjoy them as a quick pick-me-up during the day or sprinkle them over salads, soups, or yogurt for added crunch. Salad toppers. Add a handful of dehydrated sunflower seeds to your favorite salads for a boost of flavor and texture. They pair well with leafy greens, roasted vegetables, and creamy dressings. Trail mix. Combine dehydrated sunflower seeds with other dried fruits, nuts, and seeds to create a delicious and energizing trail mix. This portable snack is perfect for outdoor adventures or as a midday treat. Baked goods. Incorporate dehydrated sunflower seeds into your homemade bread, muffins, or granola bars for a delightful crunch. They can also be sprinkled on top of cookies or cakes for added texture. Nut butter. Grind dehydrated sunflower seeds in a food processor until they reach a smooth and creamy consistency. Use this homemade sunflower seed butter as a spread on toast, in smoothies, or as a dip for fruits and vegetables. Coating for proteins. Crush dehydrated sunflower seeds and use them as a coating for tofu, tempeh, or plant-based meats. This adds a flavorful and crunchy crust when baked or pan-fried. Garnish for soups and stews. Sprinkle dehydrated sunflower seeds on top of your favorite soups, stews, or chili for an extra layer of texture and taste. They can also be used as a garnish for creamy vegetable purees. These are just a few examples of how you can incorporate dehydrated sunflower seeds into your culinary creations. Feel free to experiment and discover new ways to enjoy the versatility and nutritional benefits of these delicious seeds. In conclusion, dehydrating sunflower seeds is a simple and effective way to preserve their freshness and extend their shelf life. By following the steps outlined in this section, you can enjoy the nutritional benefits and delightful crunch of dehydrated sunflower seeds in various dishes and snacks. Get creative and explore the endless possibilities that dehydrated sunflower seeds offer in your vegan culinary journey. 5.4 Dried Chia and Flax Seeds. 5.4.1 Introduction to Chia Seeds. Chia seeds have gained popularity in recent years due to their numerous health benefits and versatility in cooking. These tiny seeds come from the Salvia hispanica plant, which is native to Mexico and Guatemala. Chia seeds are packed with essential nutrients, including omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, protein, and antioxidants. They have a mild, nutty flavor that complements a variety of dishes. 5.4.2 Dehydrating Chia Seeds. Dehydrating chia seeds is a simple process that helps to extend their shelf life and preserve their nutritional value. To dehydrate chia seeds, start by spreading them evenly on a dehydrator tray lined with a non-stick sheet or parchment paper. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let the seeds dry for approximately 4 to 6 hours. It's important to periodically check the seeds and rotate the trays to ensure even drying. 5.4.3 Benefits of Dried Chia Seeds. Dried chia seeds offer several benefits that make them a valuable addition to a vegan diet. Firstly, they are an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain health and reducing inflammation in the body. Additionally, chia seeds are rich in dietary fiber, which aids in digestion and helps to regulate blood sugar levels. The high fiber content also promotes feelings of fullness, making chia seeds a great option for weight management. Furthermore, chia seeds are a good source of plant-based protein, making them an ideal addition to vegan meals. Protein is essential for building and repairing tissues, as well as supporting the immune system. Chia seeds also contain antioxidants, which help to protect the body against free radicals and oxidative stress. 5.4.4 Culinary Uses of Dried Chia Seeds. Dried chia seeds can be used in a variety of culinary applications, adding both nutritional value and texture to dishes. One popular way to use chia seeds is by incorporating them into smoothies or overnight oats. When soaked in liquid, chia seeds develop a gel-like consistency, which can be used as a thickening agent in recipes such as puddings, jams, and sauces. Chia seeds can also be sprinkled on top of salads, yogurt, or cereal to add a crunchy texture. They can be ground into a fine powder and used as a substitute for eggs in vegan baking recipes. This makes chia seeds a versatile ingredient for those following a plant-based diet. 5.4.5 Storing dried chia seeds. Once chia seeds are dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their freshness and nutritional value. Place the dried chia seeds in an airtight container, such as a glass jar or a resealable bag, and store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Properly stored, dried chia seeds can last for up to 2 years. 5.4.6 Incorporating dried flax seeds. Flax seeds are another nutritious seed that can be easily dehydrated and incorporated into a vegan diet. These small, brown or golden seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and lignans, which have antioxidant properties. Flax seeds have a slightly nutty flavor and can be ground into a fine powder or used whole. To dehydrate flax seeds, spread them evenly on a dehydrator tray and set the temperature to around 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius. Allow the seeds to dry for approximately 4 to 6 hours, checking for dryness and rotating the trays as needed. 5.4.7 Benefits of dried flax seeds. Dried flax seeds offer numerous health benefits and are a valuable addition to a vegan diet. The omega-3 fatty acids found in flax seeds are essential for heart health, brain function, and reducing inflammation. Flax seeds are also an excellent source of dietary fiber, which aids in digestion and helps to regulate cholesterol levels. Additionally, flax seeds contain lignans, which are plant compounds that have been shown to have anti-cancer properties. These lignans act as antioxidants and help to protect the body against cellular damage caused by free radicals. 5.4.8 Culinary uses of dried flax seeds. Dried flax seeds can be used in a variety of culinary applications, adding both nutritional value and texture to dishes. One common way to incorporate flax seeds into a vegan diet is by grinding them into a fine powder and using them as an egg substitute in baking recipes. This works particularly well in recipes such as muffins, pancakes, and bread. Flax seeds can also be sprinkled on top of salads, added to smoothies, or mixed into oatmeal or yogurt for an extra nutritional boost. They can be used as a crunchy topping for roasted vegetables or incorporated into homemade granola bars or energy balls. 5.4.9 Storing dried flax seeds. To maintain the freshness and nutritional value of dried flax seeds, it's important to store them properly. Place the dehydrated flax seeds in an airtight container and store them in the refrigerator or freezer. This will help to prevent the delicate oils in the seeds from going rancid. Properly stored, dried flax seeds can last for up to 1 year. In conclusion, dehydrating chia and flax seeds is a simple and effective way to preserve their nutritional value and extend their shelf life. These seeds offer numerous health benefits and can be easily incorporated into a variety of vegan dishes. Whether used as a thickening agent, egg substitute, or crunchy topping, dried chia and flax seeds are versatile ingredients that add both flavor and nutrition to meals. 6. Dehydrating plant-based proteins. 6.1 Drying tofu. Tofu is a versatile and popular plant-based protein that can be used in a variety of dishes. It is made from soybeans and has a high water content, which makes it a great candidate for dehydration. Drying tofu not only extends its shelf life but also changes its texture, making it chewier and more concentrated in flavor. In this section, we will explore the process of drying tofu and provide some tips and ideas for using it in your dehydrated vegan creations. 6.1.1 Choosing the right tofu. When it comes to drying tofu, it is important to choose the right type of tofu. Firm or extra firm tofu works best for dehydration as it has a lower water content compared to silken or soft tofu. The firmer the tofu, the better it will hold its shape during the drying process. 6.1.2 Preparing the tofu. Before drying tofu, it is essential to prepare it properly. Start by draining the tofu to remove excess water. Place the tofu block on a clean kitchen towel or paper towels and gently press down to remove as much moisture as possible. You can also place a heavy object, such as a plate or a book, on top of the tofu to aid in the draining process. Leave it for about 15 to 30 minutes to ensure that most of the water is removed. Once the tofu is drained, you can proceed to cut it into desired shapes and sizes. Cubes or thin slices work well for drying tofu. Keep in mind that the smaller the pieces, the faster they will dry. 6.1.3 Marinating the tofu. Marinating the tofu before drying can add flavor and enhance its taste. You can use a variety of marinades depending on your preference. Some popular options include soy sauce, tamari, teriyaki sauce, barbecue sauce, or a mixture of herbs and spices. Place the tofu in a shallow dish and pour the marinade over it, ensuring that all sides are coated. Let it marinate for at least 30 minutes to allow the flavors to penetrate the tofu. 6.1.4 Drying the tofu. Once the tofu is drained and marinated, it is time to start the drying process. There are two main methods for drying tofu: air drying and using a dehydrator. 6.1.4.1 Air drying. To air dry tofu, place the marinated tofu pieces on a wire rack or a clean, dry surface. Make sure to leave some space between the pieces to allow for proper airflow. Put the tofu in a well-ventilated area, preferably with low humidity. You can also use a fan to speed up the drying process. Leave the tofu to air dry for 24 to 48 hours, flipping the pieces occasionally to ensure even drying. The tofu is ready when it becomes firm and dry to the touch. 6.1.4.2 Using a dehydrator. Using a dehydrator is a more efficient and controlled method for drying tofu. Preheat the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 120-140 degrees Fahrenheit, 50-60 degrees Celsius. Place the marinated tofu pieces on the dehydrator trays, making sure to leave space between them for proper airflow. Set the timer according to the manufacturer's instructions, usually around 4 to 6 hours. Check the tofu periodically to ensure it is drying evenly. The tofu is ready when it becomes firm and dry. 6.1.5 Storing and using dried tofu. Once the tofu is dried, it is important to store it properly to maintain its quality. Store the dried tofu in an airtight container or a resealable bag in a cool, dry place. Properly stored, dried tofu can last for several months. Dried tofu can be rehydrated before using it in recipes. To rehydrate, simply soak the dried tofu in water or vegetable broth for about 15 to 30 minutes until it becomes soft and pliable. Once rehydrated, you can use it in stir-fries, soups, stews, salads, or even as a snack. Dried tofu can also be ground into a powder and used as a seasoning or added to sauces and dressings for an extra boost of flavor and protein. It can be a great addition to homemade spice blends or used as a thickening agent in sauces and gravies. 6.1.6 Recipe Ideas. Here are a few recipe ideas to inspire you to use dried tofu in your dehydrated vegan creations. Tofu jerky. Marinate dried tofu slices in a mixture of soy sauce, liquid smoke, maple syrup, and spices. Dehydrate until chewy and enjoy as a savory snack. Tofu crumbles. Grind dried tofu into a powder and use it as a vegan alternative to ground meat in dishes like tacos, chili, or pasta sauces. Tofu chips. Slice dried tofu into thin strips and season with your favorite spices. Dehydrate until crispy and enjoy as a healthy snack or a topping for salads and soups. The possibilities are endless when it comes to using dried tofu in your dehydrated vegan food. Get creative and experiment with different flavors and textures to create unique and delicious dishes. 6.2 Dehydrating tempeh. Tempeh is a versatile and nutritious plant-based protein that can be easily dehydrated to create a delicious and convenient snack or ingredient for your dehydrated vegan meals. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating tempeh and provide you with some creative ideas on how to use it in your dehydrated delights. 6.2.1 What is tempeh? Tempeh is a traditional Indonesian food made from fermented soybeans. It is a popular plant-based protein source among vegans and vegetarians due to its high protein content and rich nutritional profile. Tempeh has a firm texture and a nutty flavor, making it a great addition to various dishes. 6.2.2 Preparing tempeh for dehydration. Before dehydrating tempeh, it is important to prepare it properly to ensure the best results. Start by slicing the tempeh into thin strips or cubes, depending on your preference. Thinner slices will dehydrate faster, while thicker ones will take longer. You can experiment with different thicknesses to find the texture you prefer. Next, you can marinate the tempeh to enhance its flavor. You can use a variety of marinades, such as soy sauce, tamari, liquid smoke, or your favorite herbs and spices. Allow the tempeh to marinate for at least 30 minutes to absorb the flavors. 6.2.3 Dehydrating tempeh. To dehydrate tempeh, you will need a dehydrator with adjustable temperature settings. Set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius for optimal results. Place the marinated tempeh slices or cubes on the dehydrator trays, making sure to leave space between them for proper air circulation. The drying time for tempeh can vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the humidity in your environment. It typically takes around 6 to 8 hours to dehydrate tempeh fully. However, it is essential to periodically check the tempeh during the drying process to ensure it doesn't become too dry or overcooked. 6.2.4 Storing dehydrated tempeh. Once the tempeh is fully dehydrated, allow it to cool completely before storing it. Store the dehydrated tempeh in an airtight container or a resealable bag to maintain its freshness and prevent moisture absorption. Properly stored, dehydrated tempeh can last for several months. 6.2.5 Using dehydrated tempeh. Dehydrated tempeh can be used in a variety of ways to add a protein-packed punch to your dehydrated vegan meals. Here are some ideas to get you started. Snack on it. Dehydrated tempeh makes a delicious and nutritious snack on its own. Enjoy it as a crispy and flavorful alternative to chips or crackers. Rehydrate and use in soups. Add dehydrated tempeh to your dehydrated soup mixes. Simply rehydrate the tempeh by soaking it in hot water for a few minutes before adding it to your soup. Crumble it. Crumble the dehydrated tempeh and use it as a topping for salads, soups, or dehydrated pasta dishes. It adds a savory and crunchy texture to your meals. Blend it into powders. Grind the dehydrated tempeh into a fine powder using a blender or food processor. This tempeh powder can be used as a protein-rich seasoning for various dishes, such as sauces, dressings, or dips. Make tempeh jerky. Marinate the dehydrated tempeh in your favorite jerky marinade and then dehydrate it again to create a chewy and flavorful tempeh jerky. Add it to trail mixes. Mix dehydrated tempeh with dried fruits, nuts, and seeds to create a protein-packed trail mix for your outdoor adventures. Use it in stir-fries. Rehydrate the dehydrated tempeh by soaking it in hot water for a few minutes, then add it to your dehydrated stir-fry mixes for a quick and easy plant-based protein option. 6.2.6 Tips for dehydrating tempeh. Experiment with different marinades and seasonings to create unique flavors. If you prefer a chewier texture, dehydrate the tempeh for a shorter time. Store dehydrated tempeh in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight to maintain its quality. Label your containers with the date of dehydration to keep track of freshness. Rehydrate dehydrated tempeh before consuming it in dishes that require moisture. Now that you know how to dehydrate tempeh, you can enjoy its protein-packed goodness in a variety of ways. Get creative and have fun experimenting with different flavors and recipes to create your own dehydrated tempeh delights. 6.3 Preserving seitan. Seitan, also known as wheat meat or wheat gluten, is a popular plant-based protein source among vegans and vegetarians. It is made from gluten, the protein found in wheat, and has a meat-like texture that makes it a versatile ingredient in various dishes. Seitan is not only delicious but also packed with protein, making it an excellent choice for those following a vegan or vegetarian diet. Preserving seitan through dehydration is a great way to extend its shelf life and ensure that you always have a ready supply of this protein-rich ingredient. Dehydrating seitan removes the moisture content, which inhibits the growth of bacteria and molds, allowing it to be stored for longer periods without spoiling. Additionally, dehydrated seitan is lightweight and compact, making it an ideal option for camping trips, hiking adventures, or any situation where you need a convenient and nutritious food source. 6.3.1 Dehydrating seitan. To dehydrate seitan, you will need to start with cooked seitan. You can either make your own seitan from scratch or purchase pre-made seitan from the store. Once you have your cooked seitan ready, follow these steps to dehydrate it. Slice the cooked seitan into thin strips or small pieces. This will help to ensure even drying and reduce the drying time. Preheat your dehydrator to the recommended temperature for dehydrating seitan. Generally, a temperature between 120 degrees Fahrenheit 49 degrees Celsius and 140 degrees Fahrenheit 60 degrees Celsius works well for dehydrating seitan. Arrange the seitan pieces in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Make sure to leave enough space between the pieces for proper air circulation. Place the trays in the dehydrator and set the timer according to the recommended drying time for seitan. The drying time can vary depending on the thickness of the seitan slices and the humidity level in your environment. It typically takes around 4 to 6 hours for seitan to fully dehydrate. Check the seitan periodically during the drying process. It should become dry and firm to the touch but still retain some flexibility. If the seitan feels brittle or overly dry, it may have been dehydrated for too long. Once the seitan is fully dehydrated, remove it from the dehydrator and let it cool completely. This will help to ensure that any remaining moisture evaporates and the seitan becomes crispy. Store the dehydrated seitan in an airtight container or resealable bag. It is important to keep it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight to maintain its quality and extend its shelf life. 6.3.2 Rehydrating and using dehydrated seitan. To use dehydrated seitan in your recipes, you will need to rehydrate it before incorporating it into your dishes. Here's how you can rehydrate dehydrated seitan. Place the desired amount of dehydrated seitan in a bowl or container. Pour enough warm water or vegetable broth over the seitan to cover it completely. The liquid should be hot but not boiling. Let the seitan soak in the liquid for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until it becomes soft and pliable. Drain any excess liquid from the rehydrated seitan before using it in your recipes. Once the dehydrated seitan is rehydrated, you can use it in a variety of dishes. It can be added to stir-fries, stews, soups, sandwiches, wraps, and more. The rehydrated seitan will have a texture similar to cooked meat, making it a great substitute in vegan versions of traditional meat-based recipes. 6.3.3 Storing dehydrated seitan. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality and freshness of dehydrated seitan. Here are some tips for storing dehydrated seitan. Ensure that the seitan is completely cooled before storing it. Any residual heat can create condensation inside the storage container, leading to moisture and potential spoilage. Store the dehydrated seitan in an airtight container or resealable bag. This will help to prevent moisture from entering and keep the seitan dry. Label the container or bag with the date of dehydration. This will help you keep track of the freshness and ensure that you use the oldest seitan first. Store the dehydrated seitan in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Exposure to heat and light can degrade the quality of the seitan and shorten its shelf life. When stored properly, dehydrated seitan can last for several months to a year. However, it is always recommended to check for any signs of spoilage, such as off smells or discoloration, before using the seitan in your recipes. Preserving seitan through dehydration not only allows you to enjoy this plant-based protein for an extended period but also provides a convenient and versatile ingredient for your culinary creations. Experiment with different flavors and seasonings to enhance the taste of your dehydrated seitan and explore the endless possibilities of incorporating it into your vegan dishes. 6.4 Dried plant-based protein powders. Plant-based protein powders have gained popularity in recent years as more people adopt vegan and vegetarian diets. These powders provide a convenient and versatile way to supplement your protein intake, especially for those who lead an active lifestyle or have specific dietary needs. In this section, we will explore the benefits of dried plant-based protein powders, how to make them at home, and some creative ways to incorporate them into your meals and snacks. 6.4.1 Benefits of dried plant-based protein powders. Dried plant-based protein powders offer numerous benefits for individuals following a vegan or vegetarian diet. Here are some of the key advantages. Rich in essential amino acids, plant-based protein powders, such as pea, hemp, and brown rice protein, contain all the essential amino acids your body needs for optimal health. These amino acids are the building blocks of protein and play a crucial role in muscle repair and growth. Easily digestible. Unlike some animal-based protein sources, plant-based protein powders are generally easier to digest. They are less likely to cause digestive discomfort, making them a suitable option for individuals with sensitive stomachs. Allergen-friendly. Plant-based protein powders are free from common allergens such as dairy, soy, and gluten. This makes them an excellent choice for individuals with food sensitivities or allergies. Sustainable and environmentally friendly. Producing plant-based protein powders requires fewer resources and generates fewer greenhouse gas emissions compared to animal-based protein sources. By choosing plant-based protein powders, you are making a positive impact on the environment. Versatile and convenient. Dried plant-based protein powders are incredibly versatile and can be easily incorporated into a variety of recipes. They can be added to smoothies, baked goods, energy bars, and even savory dishes like soups and stews. 6.4.2 Making dried plant-based protein powders at home. While there are many commercial options available, making your own dried plant-based protein powders at home allows you to have full control over the ingredients and flavors. Here's a simple guide to making your own protein powders. Choose your protein source. Select a plant-based protein source that suits your taste and dietary preferences. Some popular options include pea protein, hemp protein, brown rice protein, and pumpkin seed protein. Prepare the ingredients. If using whole ingredients, such as peas or hemp seeds, ensure they are clean and free from any debris. If using pre-packaged protein powder, skip this step. Dry the ingredients. Spread the protein source evenly on a dehydrator tray or a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, or use your oven's lowest setting. Leave the ingredients to dry for several hours or until they are completely dry and brittle. Grind into powder. Once the ingredients are fully dried, transfer them to a high-speed blender or a coffee grinder. Blend or grind until you achieve a fine powder consistency. If desired, you can sift the powder through a fine mesh sieve to remove any larger particles. Store in an airtight container. Transfer the homemade protein powder to an airtight container or a glass jar with a tight-fitting lid. Store it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Properly stored, homemade protein powders can last for several months. 6.4.3 Creative ways to use dried plant-based protein powders. Dried plant-based protein powders can be used in a variety of ways to boost the nutritional content of your meals and snacks. Here are some creative ideas to incorporate them into your diet. Smoothies and shakes. Add a scoop of your favorite protein powder to your morning smoothie or post-workout shake for an extra protein boost. Combine it with fruits, vegetables, and plant-based milk for a delicious and nutritious beverage. Baked goods. Enhance the protein content of your baked goods by substituting a portion of the flour with plant-based protein powder. This works well in pancakes, muffins, cookies, and bread. Energy bars and balls. Make your own homemade energy bars or protein balls by combining dried fruits, nuts, seeds, and a scoop of protein powder. These portable snacks are perfect for on-the-go fuel. Soups and stews. Add a tablespoon or two of protein powder to your favorite soup or stew recipes for an extra protein boost. It will help thicken the broth and add a subtle flavor. Homemade protein bars. Combine protein powder with nut butter, sweeteners like dates or maple syrup, and other ingredients of your choice to create homemade protein bars. These bars make a convenient and nutritious snack. Savory dishes. Get creative and experiment with adding protein powder to savory dishes like veggie burgers, meatless meatballs, or even homemade veggie patties. It can help bind the ingredients together and add a protein punch. Remember to start with a small amount of protein powder and gradually increase the quantity to suit your taste preferences. Enjoy the versatility and nutritional benefits that dried plant-based protein powders bring to your vegan or vegetarian diet. 7. Dehydrating snacks and treats. 7.1 Drying fruit leather. Fruit leather is a delicious and nutritious snack that can be easily made by dehydrating fruit puree. It is a great way to preserve the natural flavors and nutrients of fruits while creating a convenient and portable snack. In this section, we will explore the process of drying fruit leather and provide you with some tips and recipes to get you started. 7.1.1 Choosing the right fruits. When making fruit leather, it is important to choose ripe and flavorful fruits. The quality of the fruit will directly impact the taste and texture of the final product. Here are some fruits that work well for making fruit leather. Apples. Apples are a popular choice for fruit leather due to their natural sweetness and high pectin content, which helps to create a smooth and firm texture. Berries. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries all make delicious fruit leather. They are naturally sweet and provide a vibrant color. Mangoes. Mangoes have a rich and tropical flavor that makes for a tasty fruit leather. They are also high in fiber and vitamin C. Peaches. Peaches have a sweet and juicy flavor that translates well into fruit leather. They are also a good source of vitamins A and C. Pears. Pears have a delicate and slightly sweet flavor that works well in fruit leather. They are also high in fiber and vitamin C. You can also experiment with different combinations of fruits to create unique flavors. For example, mixing strawberries and bananas or apples and cinnamon can add a delicious twist to your fruit leather. 7.1.2 Preparing the fruit. Before dehydrating the fruit, it is important to properly prepare it. Here are the steps to follow. Wash the fruit. Rinse the fruit under cold water to remove any dirt or debris. Pat them dry with a clean towel. Remove the skin and seeds. For fruits like apples and pears, peel the skin and remove the core. For berries, remove any stems or leaves. Puree the fruit. Place the prepared fruit in a blender or food processor and blend until smooth. You can add a small amount of lemon juice to prevent browning and enhance the flavor. 7.1.3 Dehydrating the fruit leather. Once you have prepared the fruit puree, it is time to dehydrate it. Here is the step-by-step process. Line the dehydrator trays. Place a non-stick sheet or parchment paper on the dehydrator trays to prevent the fruit puree from sticking. Pour the fruit puree. Pour the fruit puree onto the prepared trays, spreading it evenly with a spatula or the back of a spoon. Aim for a thickness of about 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Dehydrate the fruit puree. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let it run for 6 to 8 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the fruit puree and the humidity level in your area. The fruit leather is ready when it is no longer sticky to the touch but still pliable. Check for doneness. To check if the fruit leather is fully dehydrated, gently touch the surface. It should feel dry and slightly tacky, but not sticky. Remove and store. Once the fruit leather is fully dehydrated, remove it from the dehydrator and let it cool completely. Cut it into desired shapes and sizes, and store in an airtight container or Ziploc bags. Fruit leather can be stored at room temperature for several weeks. 7.1.4 Flavor Variations. While plain fruit leather is delicious on its own, you can also experiment with different flavors and add-ins to create unique combinations. Here are some ideas to get you started. Cinnamon apple. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon to the apple puree before dehydrating for a warm and comforting flavor. Tropical twist. Blend mangoes, pineapples, and a squeeze of lime juice for a refreshing and tropical fruit leather. Berry blast. Mix different berries like strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries for a burst of fruity goodness. Chocolate banana. Blend ripe bananas with a tablespoon of cocoa powder for a decadent and chocolatey treat. Feel free to get creative and try out different fruits, spices, and flavorings to find your favorite combinations. 7.1.5 Tips for successful fruit leather. Here are some additional tips to ensure successful fruit leather every time. Use ripe and flavorful fruits for the best results. Spread the fruit puree evenly on the dehydrator trays to ensure even drying. Rotate the trays during the drying process to promote uniform drying. Check the fruit leather periodically during the drying process to prevent over-drying. Store the fruit leather in a cool, dry place to maintain its texture and flavor. By following these tips and experimenting with different fruits and flavors, you can create a variety of delicious and healthy fruit leather snacks to enjoy anytime, anywhere. 7.2 Dehydrating Veggie Chips. Veggie chips are a delicious and healthy alternative to traditional potato chips. They are packed with nutrients and can be made from a variety of vegetables, making them a versatile and customizable snack option. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating veggie chips and provide you with some tips and recipes to get you started. 7.2.1 Choosing the right vegetables. When it comes to making veggie chips, the first step is to choose the right vegetables. You want to select vegetables that are firm and have a low water content. Some popular choices for veggie chips include zucchini, sweet potatoes, kale, beets, carrots, and parsnips. These vegetables hold up well during the dehydration process and result in crispy and flavorful chips. 7.2.2 Preparing the vegetables. Once you have chosen your vegetables, it's time to prepare them for dehydration. Start by washing the vegetables thoroughly to remove any dirt or debris. Next, use a sharp knife or a mandolin slicer to slice the vegetables into thin, even slices. The thickness of the slices will determine the texture of your veggie chips, so experiment with different thicknesses to find your preferred level of crispiness. 7.2.3 Seasoning the veggie chips. One of the great things about making veggie chips is that you can get creative with the seasonings. You can keep it simple with just a sprinkle of salt and pepper, or you can experiment with different herbs and spices to add flavor. Some popular seasoning options for veggie chips include garlic powder, paprika, cumin, rosemary, and nutritional yeast. Toss the sliced vegetables in a bowl with your desired seasonings and make sure they are evenly coated. 7.2.4 Dehydrating the veggie chips. To dehydrate the veggie chips, you will need a dehydrator. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for your specific dehydrator model, but generally, the process involves arranging the seasoned vegetable slices on the dehydrator trays in a single layer. Make sure to leave some space between the slices to allow for proper airflow. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and let the chips dry for several hours. The drying time will vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the water content of the vegetables. Check the chips periodically and rotate the trays if necessary to ensure even drying. The chips are ready when they are crispy and brittle. 7.2.5 Storing and enjoying veggie chips. Once the veggie chips are fully dehydrated, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool completely. Store the chips in an airtight container to maintain their crispiness. Veggie chips can be enjoyed as a standalone snack or used as a topping for salads, soups, or sandwiches. They are a great way to add a nutritious crunch to your meals. 7.2.6 Recipe Ideas. Here are a few recipe ideas to inspire you to create your own delicious veggie chips. Zesty kale chips. Ingredients: 1 bunch of kale, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 1 teaspoon lemon juice, 1 teaspoon nutritional yeast, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius. Wash the kale leaves and remove the tough stems. Tear the kale leaves into bite-sized pieces. In a bowl, combine the olive oil, lemon juice, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Add the kale leaves to the bowl and toss until they are evenly coated with the seasoning mixture. Arrange the kale leaves in a single layer on a baking sheet. Bake for 10 to 15 minutes, or until the kale chips are crispy. Let the chips cool before enjoying. Spicy sweet potato chips ingredients. 2 medium sweet potatoes, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper, salt to taste. Instructions. Preheat the oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 120 degrees Celsius. Peel the sweet potatoes and slice them into thin rounds. In a bowl, combine the olive oil, paprika, cayenne pepper, and salt. Add the sweet potato slices to the bowl and toss until they are evenly coated with the seasoning mixture. Arrange the sweet potato slices in a single layer on a baking sheet. Bake for 1 to 2 hours, or until the sweet potato chips are crispy. Let the chips cool before enjoying. Tangy beet chips. Ingredients. 2 large beets, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon dried thyme, salt to taste. Instructions. Preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, 160 degrees Celsius. Peel the beets and slice them into thin rounds. In a bowl, combine the olive oil, apple cider vinegar, dried thyme, and salt. Add the beet slices to the bowl and toss until they are evenly coated with the seasoning mixture. Arrange the beet slices in a single layer on a baking sheet. Bake for 20 to 30 minutes, or until the beet chips are crispy. Let the chips cool before enjoying. Get creative with your veggie chip recipes and try different combinations of vegetables and seasonings. Dehydrating veggie chips is a fun and healthy way to enjoy a satisfying snack that is full of flavor and nutrients. 7.3 Preserving energy bars. Energy bars are a popular snack among athletes, hikers, and anyone looking for a quick and convenient source of energy. They are packed with nutrients and provide a boost of energy to keep you going throughout the day. While store-bought energy bars are readily available, making your own allows you to control the ingredients and customize the flavors to suit your preferences. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating and preserving energy bars. 7.3.1 Choosing the right ingredients. When it comes to making energy bars, the possibilities are endless. You can choose from a variety of nuts, seeds, dried fruits, grains, and sweeteners to create a delicious and nutritious snack. Here are some popular ingredients to consider. Nuts and seeds: almonds, walnuts, cashews, peanuts, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds are all excellent choices. They provide healthy fats, protein, and fiber. Dried fruits: dates, raisins, apricots, cranberries, cherries, and figs add natural sweetness and a chewy texture to energy bars. They are also a great source of vitamins and minerals. Grains: rolled oats, quinoa flakes, and puffed rice are commonly used in energy bars to provide a hearty and filling base. Sweeteners: natural sweeteners like maple syrup, honey, agave nectar, and coconut sugar can be used sparingly to enhance the flavor of your energy bars. Flavorings: you can add a variety of flavorings such as vanilla extract, cinnamon, cocoa powder, or matcha powder to give your energy bars a unique taste. 7.3.2 Preparing the energy bar mixture. To make energy bars, you will need to combine the ingredients in a food processor or blender until they form a sticky and cohesive mixture. Here's a step-by-step guide. Start by processing the nuts and seeds until they are finely chopped. This will help bind the mixture together. Add the dried fruits to the food processor and pulse until they are broken down and well combined with the nuts and seeds. Next, add the grains, sweeteners, and flavorings. Process the mixture until it forms a sticky dough-like consistency. If the mixture seems too dry, you can add a small amount of water or nut milk to help bind it together. Once the mixture is well combined, transfer it to a square or rectangular baking dish lined with parchment paper. Press it down firmly to create an even layer. 7.3.3 Dehydrating the energy bars. To dehydrate the energy bars, you will need to use a dehydrator or an oven set to a low temperature. Here's how to do it. If you are using a dehydrator, set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. If you are using an oven, set it to the lowest temperature possible, usually around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees Celsius. Place the baking dish with the energy bar mixture in the dehydrator or oven and let it dry for 4 to 6 hours. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the bars and the humidity in your environment. After the initial drying time, remove the bars from the baking dish and cut them into individual servings. Place the bars back in the dehydrator or oven and continue drying for another 4 to 6 hours, or until they reach your desired texture. It's important to periodically check the bars during the drying process to ensure they are not becoming too dry or overcooked. 7.3.4 Storing and enjoying energy bars. Once the energy bars are fully dehydrated, allow them to cool completely before storing them in an airtight container. Proper storage is essential to maintain their freshness and prevent them from becoming stale. Here are some tips for storing and enjoying your homemade energy bars. Store the bars in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. This will help extend their shelf life and preserve their flavor. If you plan to keep the bars for an extended period, you can store them in the refrigerator or freezer to maintain their freshness. Energy bars can be enjoyed as a quick snack on the go, a pre-workout boost, or a post-workout recovery snack. They are also great for hiking, camping, or any outdoor adventure. Experiment with different flavors and combinations to find your favorite energy bar recipe. You can add ingredients like chocolate chips, coconut flakes, or nut butter swirls to create unique and delicious variations. By dehydrating and preserving your own energy bars, you can have a healthy and convenient snack ready whenever you need it. With a little creativity and experimentation, you can create a variety of flavors and textures to satisfy your taste buds and fuel your body. So why not give it a try and start enjoying the benefits of homemade dehydrated energy bars today? 7.4 Dried Sweet Treats. When it comes to satisfying your sweet tooth, dehydrating vegan sweet treats is a game changer. Not only does it allow you to enjoy your favorite desserts in a healthier way, but it also extends their shelf life, making them perfect for on-the-go snacking or storing for later indulgence. In this section, we will explore a variety of dried sweet treats that will surely satisfy your cravings. 7.4.1 Dried Fruit Chips. Dried fruit chips are a delicious and nutritious alternative to traditional potato chips. They are easy to make and can be enjoyed as a standalone snack or used as a topping for desserts and breakfast bowls. To make dried fruit chips, simply slice your favorite fruits, such as apples, pears, or bananas, into thin slices and place them on your dehydrator trays. Set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let them dehydrate for 8 to 12 hours, or until they are crispy and fully dried. The result is a sweet and crunchy snack that is packed with natural flavors and nutrients. 7.4.2 Dried Fruit Leather. Dried fruit leather is a fun and versatile treat that can be enjoyed by both kids and adults. It is essentially a fruit puree that is dehydrated until it becomes a chewy and delicious snack. To make dried fruit leather, start by blending your favorite fruits, such as strawberries, mangoes, or peaches, until smooth. Spread the puree evenly on a non-stick dehydrator sheet or parchment paper and set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius. Let it dehydrate for 6 to 8 hours, or until it is no longer sticky to the touch. Once dried, you can cut the fruit leather into strips or fun shapes for a delightful and healthy treat. 7.4.3 Dried Coconut Macaroons. Coconut macaroons are a classic sweet treat that can easily be made vegan and dehydrated for a longer shelf life. To make dried coconut macaroons, combine shredded coconut, coconut milk, maple syrup, and a pinch of salt in a bowl. Mix until well combined, then shape the mixture into small mounds or use a cookie scoop to create uniform shapes. Place the macaroons on your dehydrator trays and set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. Let them dehydrate for 12 to 16 hours, or until they are firm and slightly crispy on the outside. The result is a chewy and flavorful coconut macaroon that will transport you to a tropical paradise. 7.4.4 Dried Chocolate-Covered Strawberries. Who can resist the combination of chocolate and strawberries? By dehydrating chocolate-covered strawberries, you can enjoy this decadent treat anytime, anywhere. Start by dipping fresh strawberries into melted vegan chocolate, ensuring they are fully coated. Place the chocolate-covered strawberries on a non-stick dehydrator sheet or parchment paper and set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. Let them dehydrate for 4 to 6 hours, or until the chocolate is set and the strawberries are slightly dried. The result is a delightful blend of sweet and tangy flavors with a satisfying crunch. 7.4.5 Dried Cinnamon Apple Rings. Cinnamon apple rings are a comforting and aromatic sweet treat that can be enjoyed year-round. To make dried cinnamon apple rings, slice apples into thin rings and remove the core. In a bowl, combine cinnamon and a small amount of sugar or sweetener of your choice. Toss the apple rings in the cinnamon mixture until they are evenly coated. Place the apple rings on your dehydrator trays and set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius. Let them dehydrate for 8 to 10 hours, or until they are crispy and fully dried. The result is a fragrant and flavorful snack that pairs perfectly with a cup of tea or as a topping for oatmeal. 7.4.6 Dried Banana Bread Bites. If you love the taste of banana bread, you'll adore these dried banana bread bites. To make them, mash ripe bananas in a bowl and add rolled oats, chopped nuts, cinnamon, and a sweetener of your choice. Mix until well combined, then shape the mixture into small bite-sized balls or flatten them into mini bread shapes. Place the banana bread bites on your dehydrator trays and set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. Let them dehydrate for 8 to 10 hours, or until they are firm and slightly crispy on the outside. The result is a portable and delicious snack that captures the essence of banana bread in every bite. 7.4.7 Dried Date and Nut Bars. Date and nut bars are a nutritious and energy-packed snack that can be easily dehydrated for long-lasting enjoyment. To make dried date and nut bars, blend pitted dates, nuts of your choice, and a small amount of water or nut milk in a food processor until a sticky dough forms. Press the dough into a square or rectangular shape on a non-stick dehydrator sheet or parchment paper. Set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let it dehydrate for 12 to 16 hours, or until it is firm and holds its shape. Once dried, cut the bars into individual servings for a convenient and satisfying snack on the go. These dried sweet treats are just a glimpse into the world of dehydrated vegan desserts. With a little creativity and experimentation, you can transform your favorite sweet indulgences into healthier and longer-lasting versions. So go ahead, fire up your dehydrator, and let your imagination run wild as you create an array of delicious dried sweet treats. 8. Dehydrating sauces and condiments. 8.1 Drying tomato sauce. Drying tomato sauce is a great way to preserve the rich flavors of this versatile ingredient. Whether you have made a large batch of homemade tomato sauce or have leftover store-bought sauce, dehydrating it can extend its shelf life and provide you with a convenient and flavorful ingredient to use in various dishes. In this section, we will explore the process of drying tomato sauce and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 8.1.1 Preparing the tomato sauce. Before you can begin the drying process, it is important to prepare the tomato sauce properly. If you are using homemade sauce, make sure it is cooked and seasoned to your liking. If you are using store-bought sauce, check the ingredients to ensure it is vegan and does not contain any additives or preservatives that may affect the drying process. 8.1.2 Spreading the tomato sauce. To dry tomato sauce, you will need to spread it out in a thin, even layer. This can be done using a dehydrator tray or a non-stick baking sheet. Make sure to leave some space between the dollops of sauce to allow for air circulation. If you are using a dehydrator, follow the manufacturer's instructions for tray placement and spacing. 8.1.3 Drying the tomato sauce. The drying time for tomato sauce can vary depending on the thickness of the sauce and the drying conditions. It is recommended to set the dehydrator temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and dry the sauce for approximately 8 to 12 hours. If you are using an oven, set it to the lowest temperature possible and keep a close eye on the sauce to prevent burning. 8.1.4 Checking for dryness. To determine if the tomato sauce is fully dried, touch it gently with your finger. It should feel dry and leathery, with no moisture remaining. If the sauce is still sticky or moist, continue drying it for a few more hours. It is important to ensure that the sauce is completely dry to prevent spoilage and the growth of bacteria. 8.1.5 Storing dried tomato sauce. Once the tomato sauce is fully dried, allow it to cool completely before storing it. You can store the dried sauce in airtight containers such as glass jars or resealable bags. Make sure to label the containers with the date of drying to keep track of its freshness. Store the dried tomato sauce in a cool, dark place away from direct sunlight and moisture. 8.1.6 Rehydrating dried tomato sauce. To rehydrate dried tomato sauce, simply add it to a pot of boiling water and let it simmer for a few minutes until it reaches the desired consistency. You can also add the dried sauce directly to soups, stews, or pasta dishes, allowing it to rehydrate during the cooking process. The rehydrated sauce will have a concentrated flavor, so adjust the amount used according to your taste preferences. 8.1.7 Using dried tomato sauce. Dried tomato sauce can be used in a variety of dishes to add a burst of flavor. Here are some ideas to get you started. Pasta dishes. Add the dried sauce to cooked pasta along with some olive oil, herbs, and vegetables for a quick and flavorful meal. Pizza topping. Sprinkle the dried sauce over pizza dough before adding your favorite toppings for a concentrated tomato flavor. Soups and stews. Add the dried sauce to vegetable soups or stews to enhance the depth of flavor. Dips and spreads. Mix the dried sauce with vegan cream cheese or tofu to create a delicious dip or spread for crackers or bread. Marinades and dressings. Combine the dried sauce with vinegar, oil, and herbs to create a tangy marinade or dressing for salads or grilled vegetables. Experiment with different quantities and combinations to find your favorite ways to use dried tomato sauce in your vegan recipes. 8.1.8 Tips for successful drying. Use a thick tomato sauce. Thin sauces may take longer to dry and can result in a brittle texture. A thicker sauce will dry more evenly and retain its flavor. Stir the sauce occasionally. If you are drying tomato sauce in an oven, stir it every hour or so to ensure even drying and prevent sticking. Store in small portions. Consider dividing the dried tomato sauce into smaller portions before storing. This way, you can easily use what you need without exposing the entire batch to air and moisture. Label and date the containers. Properly labeling and dating the containers will help you keep track of the freshness of the dried tomato sauce and ensure you use it before it loses its flavor. Drying tomato sauce is a simple and effective way to preserve this essential ingredient in your vegan pantry. By following the steps outlined in this section, you can enjoy the rich flavors of tomato sauce in your favorite dishes all year round. 8.2 Dehydrating nut butters. Nut butters are a delicious and versatile addition to any vegan pantry. They are packed with nutrients, healthy fats, and protein, making them a great source of energy. While store-bought nut butters are convenient, making your own at home allows you to control the ingredients and customize the flavors to your liking. Dehydrating nut butters is a fantastic way to extend their shelf life and create portable snacks for on the go. 8.2.1 Benefits of dehydrating nut butters. Dehydrating nut butters offers several benefits. Firstly, it helps to remove the moisture content, which prevents spoilage and extends the shelf life of the nut butter. This is particularly useful if you make large batches or want to store them for longer periods. Dehydrating also concentrates the flavors, intensifying the nutty taste and enhancing the overall richness of the butter. Another advantage of dehydrating nut butters is the convenience it provides. Once dehydrated, the nut butter transforms into a portable and mess-free snack. You can easily pack it in your backpack, purse, or lunchbox without worrying about leaks or spills. This makes it an excellent option for hiking, camping, or any outdoor adventure. 8.2.2 Choosing the right nut butter. When it comes to dehydrating nut butters, it's essential to choose the right type of nut butter. While most nut butters can be dehydrated, some work better than others. The best options for dehydrating are those with a higher fat content, such as almond butter, cashew butter, and peanut butter. These nut butters have a smoother consistency and are easier to spread, making them ideal for dehydrating. It's important to note that some nut butters may require additional ingredients or modifications to achieve the desired texture and consistency after dehydration. For example, if you're using a natural nut butter that separates, you may need to stir in some oil or add a stabilizer like coconut flour to prevent it from becoming too dry and crumbly. 8.2.3 Dehydrating process. Dehydrating nut butters is a straightforward process that requires minimal effort. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you get started. Start by spreading a thin layer of nut butter onto a dehydrator tray lined with a non-stick sheet or parchment paper. Make sure to leave some space between each dollop of nut butter to allow for even drying. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let the nut butter dry for approximately 8 to 12 hours. The exact drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the nut butter layer and the humidity in your environment. Check the nut butter periodically to ensure it is drying evenly. You can gently touch the surface to see if it feels dry and no longer sticky. If needed, rotate the trays or adjust the drying time accordingly. Once the nut butter is completely dry, remove it from the dehydrator and let it cool. It will become crispy and brittle as it cools down. Break the dehydrated nut butter into smaller pieces or grind it into a powder using a food processor or blender. The powdered form is perfect for adding to smoothies, oatmeal, or baked goods. Store the dehydrated nut butter in an airtight container or resealable bag in a cool, dry place. It can last for several months if properly stored. 8.2.4 Using dehydrated nut butters. Dehydrated nut butters offer endless possibilities for incorporating them into your meals and snacks. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Rehydrate the dehydrated nut butter by adding water or plant-based milk to create a spreadable consistency. This can be used as a dip for fruits, vegetables, or crackers. Sprinkle the powdered dehydrated nut butter over smoothie bowls, yogurt, or oatmeal for an extra boost of flavor and nutrition. Incorporate the dehydrated nut butter powder into your favorite baked goods, such as cookies, muffins, or energy bars, for a nutty twist. Use the dehydrated nut butter as a topping for salads, roasted vegetables, or stir-fries to add a crunchy texture and nutty flavor. Mix the dehydrated nut butter powder with spices and herbs to create a flavorful seasoning blend for popcorn, roasted chickpeas, or roasted nuts. The possibilities are endless when it comes to using dehydrated nut butters. Get creative and experiment with different flavors and combinations to find your favorite ways to enjoy them. In conclusion, dehydrating nut butters is a simple and rewarding process that allows you to create portable and flavorful snacks. By dehydrating nut butters, you can extend their shelf life, intensify their flavors, and enjoy them in a variety of ways. So why not give it a try and elevate your vegan pantry with homemade dehydrated nut butters? 8.3 Preserving vegan cheese. Vegan cheese has become increasingly popular among those following a plant-based diet or those who are lactose intolerant. It provides a delicious alternative to traditional dairy cheese while still offering a creamy and savory flavor. While you can find a variety of vegan cheese options in stores, making your own allows you to customize the flavors and textures to suit your preferences. Dehydrating vegan cheese is a great way to preserve it for longer shelf life and to create a unique and versatile ingredient for your culinary creations. 8.3.1 Choosing the right vegan cheese. When it comes to dehydrating vegan cheese, it's important to choose the right type of cheese. Some vegan cheeses are better suited for dehydrating than others. Soft and spreadable vegan cheeses may not dehydrate well, as they tend to become too dry and crumbly. Instead, opt for firmer varieties such as vegan cheddar, mozzarella, or Gouda. These types of vegan cheese have a higher fat content, which helps them retain their shape and texture during the dehydration process. 8.3.2 Preparing the vegan cheese for dehydration. Before dehydrating vegan cheese, it's essential to prepare it properly to ensure the best results. Start by slicing the cheese into thin, even pieces. This allows for more even drying and ensures that the cheese will dehydrate at the same rate. You can use a sharp knife or a cheese slicer to achieve thin slices. Next, arrange the cheese slices on a dehydrator tray lined with a non-stick sheet or parchment paper. Make sure to leave some space between the slices to allow for proper air circulation. This will help the cheese dry evenly and prevent any sticking. 8.3.3 Dehydrating vegan cheese. The dehydration process for vegan cheese is similar to dehydrating other foods. Set your dehydrator to a low temperature, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let the cheese slices dry for approximately 8 to 12 hours. The exact drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the moisture content of the cheese. During the dehydration process, the cheese will gradually lose moisture and become more concentrated in flavor. The texture will also change, becoming firmer and more crumbly. It's important to monitor the cheese regularly to prevent overdrying. You want the cheese to be dry enough to store but still retain some moisture for a pleasant eating experience. 8.3.4 Storing dehydrated vegan cheese. Once the vegan cheese slices are fully dehydrated, allow them to cool completely before storing. This helps to prevent any condensation from forming inside the storage container, which can lead to spoilage. Transfer the dehydrated cheese to an airtight container or a resealable bag and store it in a cool, dry place. Properly stored dehydrated vegan cheese can last for several months, retaining its flavor and texture. However, it's important to note that the quality of the cheese may deteriorate over time. To ensure the best taste and texture, it's recommended to consume the dehydrated cheese within 3 to 6 months. 8.3.5 Rehydrating dehydrated vegan cheese. One of the great advantages of dehydrated vegan cheese is its versatility. While it can be enjoyed as a snack on its own, you can also rehydrate it to use in various recipes. To rehydrate dehydrated vegan cheese, simply soak the desired amount of cheese slices in warm water for about 15 to 20 minutes. The cheese will absorb the water and regain some of its original texture and creaminess. Rehydrated vegan cheese can be used in a variety of dishes, such as pasta sauces, sandwiches, or pizza toppings. It adds a rich and cheesy flavor to your favorite recipes without the need for dairy products. 8.3.6 Tips for successful dehydrating. To ensure successful dehydrating of vegan cheese, here are some additional tips to keep in mind. Use high-quality vegan cheese. The quality of the cheese you start with will greatly impact the final result. Choose a vegan cheese that has a good flavor and texture. Slice the cheese evenly. Thin and even slices will dehydrate more evenly and produce consistent results. Monitor the drying time. Check the cheese regularly during the dehydration process to prevent overdrying. The cheese should be dry to the touch but still slightly pliable. Experiment with flavors. Before dehydrating, you can add various herbs, spices, or nutritional yeast to the cheese slices to enhance the flavor. This allows you to create unique and personalized vegan cheese options. Store properly. Ensure that the dehydrated vegan cheese is stored in an airtight container or bag in a cool, dry place to maintain its quality and extend its shelf life. By dehydrating vegan cheese, you can enjoy its delicious flavors and textures for an extended period. Whether you're looking to add a cheesy element to your meals or simply enjoy it as a snack, dehydrated vegan cheese is a versatile and convenient option for any plant-based diet. 8.4 Dried spices and seasonings. Dried spices and seasonings are essential ingredients in any kitchen, adding depth, flavor, and aroma to dishes. When it comes to dehydrating vegan food, having a collection of dried spices and seasonings can elevate your meals to a whole new level. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating spices and seasonings, as well as some popular options for vegan cooking. 8.4.1 Dehydrating spices. Dehydrating spices is a simple and effective way to preserve their flavors for an extended period. By removing the moisture from spices, you can enhance their shelf life and intensify their taste. Here are some steps to dehydrate spices. Select fresh and high-quality spices. Choose spices that are aromatic and free from any signs of spoilage. It's best to use whole spices rather than ground ones, as they retain their flavors better. Clean and dry the spices. Before dehydrating, make sure to clean the spices thoroughly to remove any dirt or impurities. Pat them dry with a clean towel to remove excess moisture. Spread the spices on a dehydrator tray. Arrange the spices in a single layer on the dehydrator tray, ensuring that they are not overcrowded. This allows for proper air circulation and even drying. Set the dehydrator temperature. The ideal temperature for dehydrating spices is around 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius. This low temperature helps preserve the volatile oils and flavors of the spices. Dehydrate until crisp. Depending on the type of spice and the moisture content, the drying time may vary. Generally, spices take around 2 to 4 hours to dehydrate fully. Check the spices regularly and remove them from the dehydrator once they are crisp and brittle. Cool and store. Allow the dried spices to cool completely before storing them in airtight containers. Label the containers with the name and date of the spice for easy identification. 8.4.2 Popular dried spices and seasonings. Now that you know how to dehydrate spices, let's explore some popular options for dried spices and seasonings in vegan cooking. Dried herbs. Herbs like basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and parsley can be dehydrated and used to enhance the flavors of soups, stews, sauces, and marinades. They add a burst of freshness and aroma to your dishes. Dried chili peppers. Dehydrated chili peppers, such as cayenne, paprika, and chili flakes, are excellent for adding heat and spice to vegan recipes. They can be ground into powders or used whole in dishes like curries, salsas, and stir-fries. Dried garlic and onion. Dehydrated garlic and onion are versatile seasonings that can be used in various vegan dishes. They add depth and savory flavors to soups, sauces, roasted vegetables, and marinades. Dried citrus zest. The zest of citrus fruits like lemons, limes, and oranges can be dehydrated and used as a flavorful seasoning. It adds a tangy and bright note to dishes, especially in desserts, dressings, and marinades. Dried spices blends. You can create your own spice blends by dehydrating and grinding a combination of spices like cumin, coriander, turmeric, cinnamon, and cloves. These blends can be used in curries, rice dishes, and roasted vegetables. Dried mushroom powder. Dehydrated mushrooms can be ground into a fine powder and used as a natural flavor enhancer in vegan gravies, sauces, and soups. Mushroom powder adds a rich umami taste to dishes. Dried seaweed flakes. Dehydrated seaweed, such as nori or dulse, can be crumbled into flakes and used as a seasoning in vegan sushi, salads, and stir-fries. It adds a unique salty and oceanic flavor. Remember to store your dried spices and seasonings in a cool, dark place to maintain their quality and potency. Properly dehydrated and stored spices can last for several months, allowing you to enjoy their flavors in your vegan creations throughout the year. In conclusion, dehydrating spices and seasonings is a fantastic way to enhance the taste and aroma of your vegan dishes. By dehydrating herbs, chili peppers, garlic, onion, citrus zest, spice blends, mushroom powder, and seaweed flakes, you can create a diverse range of flavors in your cooking. Experiment with different combinations and enjoy the convenience of having a well-stocked spice cabinet filled with dried delights. 9. Dehydrating beverages. 9.1 Drying herbal teas. Herbal teas have been enjoyed for centuries for their soothing and healing properties. Whether you're looking to relax, boost your immune system, or simply enjoy a flavorful beverage, drying herbal teas is a great way to preserve their natural goodness. In this section, we will explore the art of drying herbal teas and how you can create your own delicious and aromatic blends. 9.1.1 Choosing the right herbs. When it comes to drying herbal teas, the first step is to choose the right herbs. There is a wide variety of herbs that can be used to make herbal teas, each with its own unique flavor and health benefits. Some popular herbs for tea include chamomile, peppermint, lavender, lemon balm, and rosemary. When selecting herbs for drying, it's important to choose fresh, high-quality herbs. You can either grow your own herbs in a garden or purchase them from a trusted source. Make sure to pick herbs that are free from pesticides and other chemicals. 9.1.2 Harvesting and preparing the herbs. To ensure the best flavor and potency in your dried herbal teas, it's important to harvest the herbs at the right time. Most herbs are best harvested in the morning, after the dew has dried but before the sun is too hot. This is when the essential oils in the herbs are at their peak. When harvesting the herbs, use sharp scissors or pruning shears to cut the stems just above a leaf node. This will encourage new growth and ensure the health of the plant. Avoid harvesting more than 1/3 of the plant at a time to allow it to continue growing. After harvesting, gently rinse the herbs under cool water to remove any dirt or insects. Pat them dry with a clean towel or paper towel. It's important to handle the herbs gently to avoid bruising or damaging the leaves. 9.1.3 Drying methods. There are several methods you can use to dry herbal teas, depending on the herbs and your personal preference. Here are 3 common methods. Air drying. Air drying is the simplest and most traditional method of drying herbs. To air dry herbs, gather small bunches of herbs and tie them together with a string or a rubber band. Hang the bundles upside down in a warm, well-ventilated area away from direct sunlight. The herbs will dry naturally over a period of 1 to 2 weeks. Oven drying. If you prefer a quicker drying method, you can use your oven to dry herbs. Preheat your oven to the lowest temperature setting, usually around 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 degrees Celsius. Spread the herbs in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Place the baking sheet in the oven and leave the door slightly ajar to allow moisture to escape. Check the herbs regularly and remove them from the oven when they are dry and crumbly. Dehydrator drying. Using a dehydrator is another efficient way to dry herbs. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for your specific dehydrator model. Generally, you will spread the herbs in a single layer on the dehydrator trays and set the temperature to around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. Leave the herbs in the dehydrator until they are completely dry and brittle. 9.1.4 Storing and brewing dried herbal teas. Once your herbs are dry, it's important to store them properly to maintain their flavor and potency. Store the dried herbs in airtight containers, such as glass jars or resealable bags, in a cool, dark place. Avoid storing them near heat sources or in direct sunlight, as this can cause the herbs to lose their flavor and aroma. When you're ready to enjoy a cup of herbal tea, simply brew the dried herbs in hot water. Use about 1 teaspoon of dried herbs per cup of water. Steep the herbs for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the desired strength. You can strain the herbs or use a tea infuser to make the process easier. Experiment with different combinations of dried herbs to create your own unique blends. You can also add other ingredients like dried fruit peels, spices, or sweeteners to enhance the flavor of your herbal teas. 9.1.5 Health benefits of herbal teas. In addition to their delightful flavors, herbal teas offer a wide range of health benefits. Here are a few examples. Chamomile tea. Known for its calming properties, chamomile tea can help promote relaxation and improve sleep quality. Peppermint tea. Peppermint tea is known for its soothing effects on the digestive system and can help relieve indigestion and bloating. Lavender tea. Lavender tea has a calming aroma and can help reduce anxiety and promote relaxation. Lemon balm tea. Lemon balm tea is often used to improve mood and reduce stress. Rosemary tea. Rosemary tea is believed to improve memory and concentration. Remember to consult with a healthcare professional before using herbal teas for medicinal purposes, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions or are taking medications. Drying herbal teas is a rewarding and enjoyable process that allows you to create your own unique blends and enjoy the benefits of herbal remedies. So go ahead, start drying your favorite herbs and embark on a journey of flavorful and healthful herbal teas. 9.2 Dehydrating fruit-infused water. Fruit-infused water is a refreshing and healthy beverage that can be enjoyed at any time of the day. By dehydrating fruit to make fruit-infused water, you can create a convenient and portable way to enjoy the flavors of your favorite fruits without the need for refrigeration. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating fruit to make fruit-infused water and discuss some delicious combinations to try. 9.2.1 The benefits of dehydrating fruit for infused water. Dehydrating fruit for infused water offers several benefits. Firstly, it allows you to enjoy the flavors of your favorite fruits all year round, even when they are out of season. Dehydrated fruit retains its flavor and aroma, making it a perfect addition to your water. Secondly, dehydrated fruit is lightweight and portable, making it an excellent option for on-the-go hydration. You can easily pack a few dehydrated fruit slices in your bag and add them to your water whenever you need a refreshing drink. Lastly, dehydrated fruit is a great way to reduce food waste. Instead of letting your fruits go bad, you can dehydrate them and use them to enhance the flavor of your water. 9.2.2 The dehydration process. To dehydrate fruit for infused water, you will need a dehydrator. Follow these steps to dehydrate fruit slices. Wash and slice your chosen fruits into thin, even slices. You can use a knife or a mandolin slicer for this purpose. Arrange the fruit slices in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, ensuring that they do not overlap. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, typically around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let the fruit slices dry for 8 to 12 hours. The exact drying time will depend on the type and thickness of the fruit slices. Check the fruit slices periodically to ensure they are drying evenly. Rotate the trays if necessary. Once the fruit slices are completely dry, remove them from the dehydrator and let them cool to room temperature. Store the dehydrated fruit slices in an airtight container until you are ready to use them. 9.2.3 Delicious fruit combinations for infused water. Now that you have dehydrated fruit slices, it's time to create some delicious fruit-infused water combinations. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Citrus burst. Combine dehydrated orange slices, lemon slices, and lime slices for a refreshing citrus-infused water. Berry blast. Mix dehydrated strawberry slices, raspberry slices, and blueberry slices for a burst of berry flavor in your water. Tropical paradise. Create a tropical-inspired infused water by combining dehydrated pineapple slices, mango slices, and coconut flakes. Minty melon. Add dehydrated watermelon slices, cantaloupe slices, and a few fresh mint leaves for a refreshing and cooling drink. Cucumber lime. Combine dehydrated cucumber slices and lime slices for a crisp and refreshing infused water. Apple cinnamon. Mix dehydrated apple slices and a few cinnamon sticks for a cozy and comforting infused water. Feel free to experiment with different fruit combinations and adjust the intensity of the flavors to suit your taste preferences. You can also add herbs like basil, rosemary, or mint to enhance the aroma and flavor of your infused water. 9.2.4 Using dehydrated fruit for infused water. To use the dehydrated fruit slices for infused water, simply add a few slices to a glass or a water bottle and fill it with water. Let the fruit slices infuse the water for at least 30 minutes to allow the flavors to develop. You can also refrigerate the infused water overnight for a more intense flavor. Remember to remove the dehydrated fruit slices from the water after a few hours to prevent them from becoming too soft and mushy. The infused water can be enjoyed immediately or stored in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours. 9.2.5 Conclusion. Dehydrating fruit for infused water is a simple and enjoyable process that allows you to create delicious and refreshing beverages. By dehydrating your favorite fruits, you can enjoy their flavors all year round and reduce food waste. Experiment with different fruit combinations and herbs to create your own unique infused water recipes. Stay hydrated and enjoy the natural goodness of fruit with dehydrated fruit-infused water. 9.3 Preserving nut milks. Nut milks have become increasingly popular among vegans and those with lactose intolerance as a delicious and nutritious alternative to dairy milk. Made from a variety of nuts such as almonds, cashews, and hazelnuts, nut milks are not only creamy and flavorful but also packed with essential nutrients. While store-bought nut milks are readily available, making your own at home allows you to control the ingredients and ensure a fresher and more natural product. In this section, we will explore the process of preserving nut milks through dehydration. 9.3.1 Why dehydrate nut milks? Dehydrating nut milks offers several advantages. Firstly, it extends the shelf life of the milk, allowing you to enjoy it for a longer period of time. Dehydrated nut milks can be stored in airtight containers in a cool, dry place, making them convenient for future use. Secondly, dehydrating nut milks reduces their volume, making them easier to store and transport. This is particularly beneficial for those who enjoy outdoor activities such as camping or hiking, where space and weight are limited. Lastly, dehydrated nut milks can be rehydrated easily by simply adding water, making them a convenient and versatile option for on-the-go consumption. 9.3.2 Dehydrating nut milks. To dehydrate nut milks, you will need a dehydrator with a low temperature setting. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to preserve nut milks through dehydration. Prepare the nut milk. Start by making a batch of fresh nut milk using your preferred recipe. You can choose from a variety of nuts such as almonds, cashews, or hazelnuts, depending on your preference. Soak the nuts overnight, then blend them with water and strain the mixture to obtain a smooth and creamy milk. Strain the nut milk. After blending the nuts with water, strain the mixture through a nut milk bag or cheesecloth to remove any remaining solids. This will result in a smoother and more refined milk. Spread the nut milk. Pour the strained nut milk onto a dehydrator tray lined with a non-stick sheet or parchment paper. Spread the milk evenly to ensure consistent drying. Set the dehydrator. Place the tray with the nut milk in the dehydrator and set the temperature to around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius. This low temperature will gently remove the moisture from the milk without compromising its nutritional value. Dehydrate the nut milk. Allow the nut milk to dehydrate for approximately 8 to 12 hours, or until it becomes completely dry and brittle. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the milk and the humidity in your environment. Check for dryness. To ensure that the nut milk is fully dehydrated, break a small piece and check for any moisture. If it feels dry and crumbles easily, it is ready. If not, continue dehydrating for a little longer. Store the dehydrated nut milk. Once the nut milk is completely dry, remove it from the dehydrator and let it cool. Break it into small pieces or grind it into a fine powder using a blender or food processor. Transfer the dehydrated nut milk to an airtight container and store it in a cool, dry place. 9.3.3 Rehydrating dehydrated nut milk. To rehydrate the dehydrated nut milk, simply mix it with water in a 1:3 ratio. For example, if you have 1 tablespoon of dehydrated nut milk, add 3 tablespoons of water. Stir well until the powder is fully dissolved and the milk reaches your desired consistency. You can adjust the amount of water depending on whether you prefer a thicker or thinner milk. 9.3.4 Using dehydrated nut milk. Dehydrated nut milk can be used in a variety of ways. Here are some ideas. Smoothies. Add a spoonful of dehydrated nut milk to your favorite smoothie recipe for a creamy and nutritious boost. Baking. Incorporate dehydrated nut milk into your baked goods such as cakes, cookies, and muffins for added flavor and richness. Hot beverages. Rehydrate the nut milk powder and use it as a dairy-free alternative in your hot beverages like coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. Cereal and oatmeal. Sprinkle some dehydrated nut milk powder over your breakfast cereal or oatmeal for a delicious and nutritious start to your day. Sauces and dressings. Mix the rehydrated nut milk with herbs, spices, and other ingredients to create creamy sauces and dressings for salads, pasta, or vegetables. 9.3.5 Tips for successful dehydrating. Use fresh and high-quality nuts to ensure the best flavor and nutritional value in your nut milk. Experiment with different nuts and flavor combinations to create unique and personalized nut milks. Store the dehydrated nut milk in airtight containers to protect it from moisture and extend its shelf life. Label the containers with the date of dehydration to keep track of freshness. Store the dehydrated nut milk in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight to maintain its quality. Rehydrate only the amount of nut milk you need to avoid waste. Adjust the amount of water when rehydrating to achieve your desired consistency. Enjoy the convenience and versatility of dehydrated nut milk in various recipes and beverages. By dehydrating nut milks, you can enjoy the benefits of homemade, nutritious, and delicious plant-based milk for an extended period of time. Experiment with different nuts and flavors to create your own unique blends, and explore the versatility of dehydrated nut milk in various recipes and beverages. With proper storage and rehydration, you can have a convenient and healthy dairy-free alternative at your fingertips whenever you need it. 9.4 Dried smoothie powders. Smoothies are a popular and convenient way to enjoy a nutritious and delicious drink. They are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, making them a great choice for a quick and healthy meal or snack. However, preparing fresh smoothies every time can be time-consuming, especially when you are on the go or have a busy schedule. That's where dried smoothie powders come in handy. 9.4.1 What are dried smoothie powders? Dried smoothie powders are made by dehydrating a variety of fruits, vegetables, and other ingredients used in smoothies. The dehydration process removes the water content from the ingredients, resulting in a concentrated powder that can be easily rehydrated with liquid to make a smoothie. These powders are typically made from whole foods, without any additives or preservatives, making them a healthy and convenient option for those who want to enjoy a smoothie anytime, anywhere. 9.4.2 Benefits of dried smoothie powders. 9.4.2.1 Convenience. One of the main benefits of dried smoothie powders is their convenience. They can be easily stored in airtight containers and carried with you wherever you go. Whether you are traveling, at work, or simply don't have access to fresh ingredients, having a jar of dried smoothie powder allows you to whip up a nutritious smoothie in no time. All you need is some liquid, a blender, and your chosen smoothie powder. 9.4.2.2 Nutritional value. Dried smoothie powders retain the nutritional value of the fresh ingredients used to make them. Fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which are essential for maintaining good health. By using dried smoothie powders, you can ensure that you are getting a concentrated dose of these nutrients in every sip. Plus, since the powders are made from whole foods, they also contain dietary fiber, which aids in digestion and helps you feel fuller for longer. 9.4.2.3 Extended Shelf Life. Fresh fruits and vegetables have a limited shelf life and can spoil quickly if not consumed in a timely manner. Dried smoothie powders, on the other hand, have a much longer shelf life. By removing the water content, the risk of spoilage is significantly reduced. This means that you can stock up on your favorite smoothie powders and have them on hand whenever you need them, without worrying about them going bad. 9.4.2.4 Versatility. Dried smoothie powders offer a wide range of flavor options and allow you to experiment with different combinations. You can find powders made from single ingredients, such as banana or spinach, or blends that combine multiple fruits and vegetables. This versatility allows you to customize your smoothies according to your taste preferences and dietary needs. You can also mix and match different powders to create unique flavor profiles and add variety to your smoothie routine. 9.4.3 How to use dried smoothie powders. Using dried smoothie powders is incredibly simple. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you make the perfect smoothie. Choose your desired dried smoothie powders based on your taste preferences and nutritional needs. You can find a variety of options available in health food stores or online. Measure out the desired amount of powder. The recommended serving size is usually mentioned on the packaging. Add the powder to a blender or a shaker bottle. Add your choice of liquid to the blender or shaker bottle. This can be water, plant-based milk, coconut water, or any other liquid of your choice. The amount of liquid will depend on the consistency you prefer for your smoothie. Blend or shake the mixture until smooth and well combined. If using a blender, start at a low speed and gradually increase to avoid any powder clumps. Taste the smoothie and adjust the sweetness or thickness by adding more powder or liquid as needed. Pour the smoothie into a glass or a to-go cup and enjoy. 9.4.4 Tips for using dried smoothie powders. Experiment with different combinations of dried smoothie powders to create unique flavor profiles. For example, you can mix a berry powder with a greens powder for a nutritious and delicious smoothie. If you prefer a thicker smoothie, start with less liquid and gradually add more until you reach your desired consistency. To enhance the nutritional value of your smoothie, consider adding additional ingredients such as nut butter, chia seeds, or protein powder. Store your dried smoothie powders in a cool, dry place to maintain their freshness and extend their shelf life. If you are using a shaker bottle, make sure to shake it vigorously to ensure that the powder is well mixed with the liquid. Don't be afraid to get creative with your smoothie recipes. Add fresh fruits, vegetables, or herbs to your dried smoothie powder for added flavor and texture. Consider pre-portioning your smoothie powders into individual servings to make it even more convenient to prepare your smoothies on the go. Dried smoothie powders are a fantastic addition to any vegan's pantry. They offer convenience, nutritional value, and versatility, allowing you to enjoy a healthy and delicious smoothie anytime, anywhere. So, stock up on your favorite powders and get ready to blend up some delectable smoothies that will nourish your body and delight your taste buds. 10. Dehydrating meals and soups. 10.1 Drying vegan chili. Dehydrating vegan chili is a fantastic way to preserve this hearty and flavorful dish for future use. Whether you're planning a camping trip, a backpacking adventure, or simply want to have a quick and convenient meal on hand, dehydrating vegan chili is a great option. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating vegan chili and provide you with some tips and tricks to ensure successful results. 10.1.1 Choosing the right chili recipe. Before you begin the dehydrating process, it's important to choose a chili recipe that is suitable for dehydration. Opt for recipes that have a thick consistency and are not overly watery. This will ensure that the chili dehydrates properly and doesn't become too brittle or crumbly. Additionally, consider the ingredients in the chili recipe. It's best to choose recipes that contain ingredients that dehydrate well, such as beans, vegetables, and spices. Avoid using ingredients that may not dehydrate well, such as avocado or fresh herbs, as they can affect the overall texture and taste of the dehydrated chili. 10.1.2 Preparing the chili for dehydration. Once you have chosen a suitable chili recipe, it's time to prepare the chili for dehydration. Start by cooking the chili according to the recipe instructions. Allow the chili to cool completely before proceeding with the dehydration process. Next, transfer the chili to a dehydrator-safe tray or sheet. Spread the chili evenly on the tray, ensuring that it is not too thick or too thin. It's important to create an even layer of chili to ensure consistent drying. 10.1.3 Dehydrating the chili. Now that the chili is prepared, it's time to dehydrate it. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let it run for approximately 8 to 12 hours. The exact drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the chili and the humidity levels in your area. During the dehydration process, it's important to periodically check on the chili. Stir the chili every few hours to ensure even drying and prevent clumping. You can also rotate the trays within the dehydrator to promote uniform drying. 10.1.4 Testing for dryness. To determine if the chili is fully dehydrated, perform a simple test. Take a small piece of the dehydrated chili and allow it to cool for a few minutes. Once cooled, break the piece in half. If it snaps easily and is dry throughout, the chili is ready. If it bends or feels slightly moist, it needs more drying time. 10.1.5 Storing and rehydrating dehydrated chili. Once the chili is fully dehydrated, it's time to store it for future use. Transfer the dehydrated chili to airtight containers or resealable bags. Label the containers with the date and contents for easy identification. Dehydrated chili can be stored in a cool, dry place for up to 6 months. To rehydrate the chili, simply add boiling water to the desired amount of dehydrated chili and let it sit for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Stir occasionally to ensure even rehydration. You can also add the dehydrated chili directly to soups or stews during the cooking process. 10.1.6 Tips for successful dehydrating. To ensure successful results when dehydrating vegan chili, consider the following tips. Use a thick and flavorful chili recipe that dehydrates well. Spread the chili evenly on the dehydrator trays to promote even drying. Stir the chili every few hours to prevent clumping and ensure even drying. Rotate the trays within the dehydrator to promote uniform drying. Test for dryness by breaking a piece of dehydrated chili in half. It should snap easily and be dry throughout. Store the dehydrated chili in airtight containers or resealable bags in a cool, dry place. Label the containers with the date and contents for easy identification. Rehydrate the chili by adding boiling water and letting it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. By following these tips and techniques, you can successfully dehydrate vegan chili and enjoy its delicious flavors and convenience on your outdoor adventures or busy days at home. Experiment with different chili recipes and customize the flavors to suit your preferences. Happy dehydrating. 10.2 Dehydrating pasta dishes. Dehydrating pasta dishes is a great way to create lightweight and convenient meals for your outdoor adventures or for quick and easy meals at home. By dehydrating pasta dishes, you can preserve the flavors and nutrients of your favorite pasta recipes while reducing the weight and bulk of the ingredients. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating pasta dishes and provide you with some delicious recipes to try. 10.2.1 Choosing the right pasta. When it comes to dehydrating pasta dishes, it's important to choose the right type of pasta. Some pasta shapes and sizes dehydrate better than others. Generally, smaller pasta shapes like macaroni, penne, or shells work well for dehydrating. These shapes tend to rehydrate more evenly and quickly compared to larger shapes like spaghetti or fettuccine. It's also important to consider the type of pasta you are using. Whole wheat or gluten-free pasta may require slightly different dehydration times compared to regular pasta. It's always a good idea to check the cooking instructions on the pasta package and adjust the dehydration time accordingly. 10.2.2 Preparing the pasta. Before dehydrating your pasta dishes, it's essential to cook the pasta al dente. Overcooking the pasta can result in mushy and clumpy noodles once rehydrated. Follow the cooking instructions on the pasta package, but reduce the cooking time by a minute or two to ensure the pasta is slightly undercooked. Once the pasta is cooked, drain it well and rinse it with cold water to stop the cooking process. This will help prevent the pasta from becoming too soft during the dehydration process. After rinsing, spread the pasta out on a clean kitchen towel or baking sheet to dry for a few minutes. 10.2.3 Dehydrating the pasta. To dehydrate the pasta, you will need a dehydrator with adjustable temperature settings. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and spread the cooked pasta evenly on the dehydrator trays. Make sure the pasta is not overlapping or clumped together to ensure even drying. The drying time for pasta dishes can vary depending on the type of pasta and the thickness of the sauce or ingredients. Generally, pasta dishes take around 6 to 8 hours to dehydrate fully. However, it's essential to check the pasta regularly and rotate the trays if necessary to ensure even drying. 10.2.4 Storing and rehydrating. Once the pasta dishes are fully dehydrated, allow them to cool completely before storing them in airtight containers or resealable bags. Properly dehydrated pasta dishes can last for several months when stored in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. To rehydrate the pasta dishes, simply add boiling water to the dehydrated pasta and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Stir occasionally to ensure even rehydration. The exact amount of water needed may vary depending on the recipe, so it's a good idea to start with a small amount and add more if needed. 10.2.5 Delicious dehydrated pasta recipes. Now that you know the basics of dehydrating pasta dishes, here are a few delicious recipes to try. 10.2.5.1 Dehydrated marinara pasta ingredients. 2 cups cooked pasta, macaroni or penne, 1 cup marinara sauce, 1/4 cup diced bell peppers, 1/4 cup diced onions, 1/4 cup sliced mushrooms, 1/4 teaspoon dried oregano, 1/4 teaspoon dried basil, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions. Cook the pasta al dente according to the package instructions. Drain and rinse with cold water. In a saucepan, heat the marinara sauce over medium heat. Add the diced bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Cook until the vegetables are tender. Add the cooked pasta to the saucepan and stir to combine. Season with dried oregano, dried basil, salt, and pepper. Spread the pasta mixture evenly on dehydrator trays and dehydrate at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius for 6 to 8 hours or until fully dehydrated. Once dehydrated, allow the pasta to cool completely before storing in airtight containers or resealable bags. To rehydrate, add boiling water to the dehydrated pasta and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Stir occasionally until fully rehydrated. 10.2.5.2 Dehydrated pesto pasta ingredients. 2 cups cooked pasta, penne or fusilli, 1/4 cup homemade or store-bought pesto sauce, 1/4 cup halved cherry tomatoes, 1/4 cup sliced black olives, 1/4 cup pine nuts, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions. Cook the pasta al dente according to the package instructions. Drain and rinse with cold water. In a mixing bowl, combine the cooked pasta, pesto sauce, cherry tomatoes, black olives, and pine nuts. Season with salt and pepper. Spread the pasta mixture evenly on dehydrator trays and dehydrate at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius for 6 to 8 hours or until fully dehydrated. Once dehydrated, allow the pasta to cool completely before storing in airtight containers or resealable bags. To rehydrate, add boiling water to the dehydrated pasta and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Stir occasionally until fully rehydrated. Enjoy these dehydrated pasta dishes on your next outdoor adventure or as a quick and convenient meal at home. Experiment with different sauces, vegetables, and seasonings to create your own unique dehydrated pasta recipes. Happy dehydrating. 10.3 Preserving soup mixes. When it comes to dehydrating vegan food, soup mixes are a fantastic option to consider. Not only are they convenient and easy to prepare, but they also provide a nourishing and comforting meal that can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere. By dehydrating soup mixes, you can create a variety of delicious and nutritious options that are perfect for camping trips, backpacking adventures, or simply for stocking your pantry with quick and satisfying meals. 10.3.1 Benefits of dehydrating soup mixes. Dehydrating soup mixes offers several benefits that make them a popular choice among vegan food enthusiasts. Here are some of the advantages. Convenience. Dehydrated soup mixes are incredibly convenient. They can be prepared in advance and stored for long periods without the need for refrigeration. This makes them ideal for outdoor activities or situations where access to fresh ingredients may be limited. Lightweight and portable. Dehydrated soup mixes are lightweight and compact, making them easy to carry during outdoor adventures. Whether you're hiking, camping, or traveling, these soup mixes can be a lifesaver when you need a quick and nourishing meal on the go. Extended shelf life. By removing the moisture from the ingredients, dehydrated soup mixes have an extended shelf life compared to their fresh counterparts. This means you can stock up on your favorite soup mixes and have them readily available whenever you're in the mood for a comforting bowl of soup. Preservation of nutrients. Dehydrating soup mixes helps to preserve the nutrients present in the ingredients. While some nutrients may be lost during the dehydration process, many vitamins and minerals remain intact, ensuring that you still receive a healthy and balanced meal. 10.3.2 Creating your own soup mixes. Creating your own dehydrated soup mixes allows you to customize the flavors and ingredients to suit your preferences. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you get started. Choose your base. Start by selecting a base for your soup mix. This can be a combination of grains, legumes, or even dehydrated vegetables. Popular options include lentils, quinoa, barley, and split peas. Add flavorful ingredients. Enhance the taste of your soup mix by adding flavorful ingredients such as dried herbs, spices, and seasonings. Consider using ingredients like dried onions, garlic powder, dried thyme, rosemary, or bay leaves to add depth and complexity to your soup. Include dehydrated vegetables. Dehydrated vegetables are a great addition to soup mixes as they add both flavor and nutrition. Consider including dehydrated carrots, celery, peas, or bell peppers to your mix. You can either dehydrate these vegetables yourself or purchase them pre-dehydrated. Package and label. Once you have created your soup mix, package it in airtight containers or resealable bags. Be sure to label each package with the name of the soup mix and any cooking instructions or additional ingredients needed. 10.3.3 Rehydrating and cooking soup mixes. To enjoy your dehydrated soup mix, you'll need to rehydrate and cook it. Here's a simple guide to help you prepare a delicious bowl of soup. Measure and rinse. Measure the desired amount of soup mix and rinse it thoroughly under cold water to remove any dust or debris. Soak or simmer. Depending on the type of soup mix, you may need to soak it in water for a few hours or simmer it on the stovetop. Follow the instructions on the package or use the general rule of thumb of 1 cup of soup mix to 4 cups of water. Add additional ingredients. Once the soup mix is rehydrated, you can add additional ingredients to enhance the flavor and texture. This can include fresh or dehydrated vegetables, herbs, spices, or even plant-based proteins like tofu or tempeh. Cooking time. Allow the soup to simmer on low heat until all the ingredients are tender and the flavors have melded together. This can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a few hours, depending on the ingredients used. Adjust seasonings. Taste the soup and adjust the seasonings as needed. You may want to add more salt, pepper, or spices to suit your taste preferences. Serve and enjoy. Once the soup is cooked to perfection, ladle it into bowls and serve it hot. You can garnish it with fresh herbs or a drizzle of olive oil for an extra touch of flavor. 10.3.4 Storing dehydrated soup mixes. To ensure the longevity of your dehydrated soup mixes, proper storage is essential. Here are some tips to keep in mind. Airtight containers. Store your dehydrated soup mixes in airtight containers or resealable bags to prevent moisture from entering and spoiling the ingredients. Cool and dry location. Choose a cool and dry location for storing your soup mixes. Avoid areas that are exposed to direct sunlight or fluctuating temperatures, as this can affect the quality and shelf life of the ingredients. Label and date. Always label each container with the name of the soup mix and the date it was prepared. This will help you keep track of the freshness and rotation of your stock. Rotate stock. To ensure that your soup mixes remain fresh, it's a good practice to rotate your stock regularly. Use the oldest mixes first and replenish your supply as needed. By dehydrating soup mixes, you can enjoy the convenience of a quick and nourishing meal, even when you're on the go. Experiment with different flavors and ingredients to create your own signature soup mixes that will satisfy your taste buds and keep you fueled during your outdoor adventures or busy days at home. 10.4 Dried Meal Replacement Packs. In today's fast-paced world, convenience is key. We often find ourselves juggling multiple responsibilities and struggling to find time to prepare nutritious meals. This is where dried meal replacement packs come in handy. These packs are a convenient and portable option for those who are always on the go but still want to maintain a healthy and balanced vegan diet. 10.4.1 Benefits of Dried Meal Replacement Packs. Dried meal replacement packs offer several benefits that make them an attractive option for busy individuals. Here are some of the advantages. Convenience. One of the main advantages of dried meal replacement packs is their convenience. These packs are lightweight, compact, and easy to carry, making them perfect for travel, work, or outdoor adventures. They eliminate the need for meal planning, grocery shopping, and cooking, saving you valuable time and effort. Nutritional balance. Dried meal replacement packs are designed to provide a balanced mix of macronutrients and essential vitamins and minerals. They are carefully formulated to meet your nutritional needs, ensuring that you get all the necessary nutrients in one convenient package. This is especially important for vegans who need to ensure they are getting enough protein, iron, calcium, and other vital nutrients. Portion control. Dried meal replacement packs come in pre-portioned servings, which helps you maintain portion control and avoid overeating. This can be particularly beneficial for those trying to manage their weight or stick to specific dietary goals. Long shelf life. Unlike fresh food, dried meal replacement packs have a long shelf life. They are dehydrated and packaged in a way that preserves their nutritional value and extends their longevity. This means you can stock up on these packs and have them readily available whenever you need a quick and nutritious meal. Variety. Dried meal replacement packs come in a wide range of flavors and options, allowing you to choose from a variety of meals and snacks. Whether you prefer savory dishes like chili or pasta, or sweet treats like energy bars and smoothie powders, there is a meal replacement pack to suit your taste preferences. 10.4.2 Choosing the right dried meal replacement packs. When it comes to choosing the right dried meal replacement packs, there are a few factors to consider. Nutritional content. Look for packs that provide a good balance of macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, and fat, as well as essential vitamins and minerals. Read the labels carefully to ensure that the pack meets your specific dietary needs. Ingredients. Check the ingredient list to ensure that the pack contains high-quality, whole food ingredients. Avoid packs that are loaded with artificial additives, preservatives, or excessive amounts of sugar. Allergens. If you have any food allergies or sensitivities, make sure to check the allergen information on the pack. Look for packs that are free from common allergens such as gluten, soy, nuts, or dairy, depending on your specific dietary requirements. Taste and texture. Everyone has different taste preferences, so it's important to choose packs that you enjoy eating. Look for reviews or sample packs if available to get an idea of the taste and texture before committing to a larger purchase. Sustainability. Consider the environmental impact of the packaging and sourcing of the ingredients. Look for brands that prioritize sustainability and use eco-friendly packaging materials. 10.4.3 Incorporating dried meal replacement packs into your diet. Dried meal replacement packs can be a convenient addition to your vegan diet. Here are some tips on how to incorporate them effectively. Meal replacement. Use the packs as a complete meal replacement when you're short on time or don't have access to a kitchen. Simply mix the contents of the pack with water or plant-based milk, and you have a quick and nutritious meal ready to go. Snacks on the go. Keep a few packs in your bag or desk drawer for those times when hunger strikes and you need a healthy snack. Dried meal replacement packs are a great alternative to processed snacks and can help curb cravings while providing essential nutrients. Emergency food. Stock up on dried meal replacement packs for emergencies or unexpected situations. They can be a lifesaver during power outages, natural disasters, or when you're traveling to areas with limited vegan food options. Meal boosters. Add dried meal replacement packs to your homemade meals to boost their nutritional value. You can sprinkle them on top of salads, mix them into soups or stews, or incorporate them into your favorite recipes for an extra dose of nutrients. Customization. While dried meal replacement packs are convenient on their own, you can also customize them to suit your taste preferences. Add fresh or dried fruits, nuts, seeds, or spices to enhance the flavor and texture of the meal. Remember, while dried meal replacement packs can be a convenient option, they should not replace whole, fresh foods in your diet. It's important to maintain a balanced and varied diet that includes a wide range of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and plant-based proteins. In conclusion, dried meal replacement packs offer a convenient and nutritious solution for those who are always on the go. They provide a balanced mix of macronutrients and essential vitamins and minerals, making them a suitable option for vegans. By choosing the right packs and incorporating them effectively into your diet, you can enjoy the benefits of these convenient meal options while still maintaining a healthy and balanced lifestyle. 11. Dehydrating international cuisine. 11.1 Drying Mexican flavors. Mexican cuisine is known for its bold and vibrant flavors, and dehydrating Mexican ingredients can help you create delicious and convenient meals that capture the essence of this cuisine. By dehydrating Mexican flavors, you can easily incorporate them into your favorite dishes, whether you're making tacos, enchiladas, or even salsas. In this section, we will explore some popular Mexican ingredients and how to dehydrate them to preserve their flavors. 11.1.1 Dehydrating chili peppers. Chili peppers are a staple in Mexican cuisine, adding heat and depth of flavor to dishes. By dehydrating chili peppers, you can create your own chili powder or chili flakes to use in various recipes. Start by selecting fresh and ripe chili peppers, such as jalapenos, serranos, or habaneros. Wash and dry the peppers thoroughly before slicing them into thin strips or rings. Spread the chili pepper slices evenly on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not overlapping. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and let the peppers dry for 8 to 12 hours, or until they are completely dry and brittle. Once dried, you can grind the peppers into a fine powder using a spice grinder or crush them into flakes using a mortar and pestle. 11.1.2 Dehydrating tomatoes. Tomatoes are another essential ingredient in Mexican cuisine, providing a rich and tangy flavor to dishes like salsas, sauces, and soups. Dehydrating tomatoes intensifies their flavor and allows you to enjoy them year-round. Start by selecting ripe and firm tomatoes, preferably Roma or plum tomatoes, as they have less moisture content. Wash the tomatoes and remove the stems. Cut them into thin slices, about 1/4 inch thick. Place the tomato slices on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not touching each other. Set the dehydrator to a temperature of around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let the tomatoes dry for 10 to 12 hours, or until they are leathery and no longer sticky to the touch. Once the tomatoes are fully dehydrated, you can store them in airtight containers or rehydrate them by soaking them in warm water for a few minutes before using them in recipes. Dehydrated tomatoes can be used in a variety of Mexican dishes, such as salsa, enchilada sauce, or even as a topping for tacos and salads. 11.1.3 Dehydrating cilantro. Cilantro, also known as coriander leaves, is a popular herb used in Mexican cooking to add freshness and a distinct flavor to dishes. Dehydrating cilantro allows you to preserve its flavor and use it in various recipes, even when fresh cilantro is not available. Start by washing the cilantro thoroughly and patting it dry with a clean kitchen towel. Remove the leaves from the stems and spread them evenly on the dehydrator trays. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and let the cilantro dry for 2 to 4 hours, or until the leaves are crisp and crumble easily. Once the cilantro is fully dehydrated, you can store it in an airtight container or grind it into a fine powder using a spice grinder. Dehydrated cilantro can be used as a seasoning in Mexican dishes like guacamole, salsa, or even sprinkled over tacos and quesadillas. 11.1.4 Dehydrating onions and garlic. Onions and garlic are essential ingredients in Mexican cuisine, providing depth and flavor to a wide range of dishes. Dehydrating onions and garlic can help you have these ingredients readily available for your Mexican-inspired meals. To dehydrate onions, peel and slice them into thin rings or strips. Spread the onion slices evenly on the dehydrator trays and set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius. Allow the onions to dry for 8 to 10 hours, or until they are completely dry and crispy. For dehydrating garlic, peel the cloves and slice them into thin pieces. Place the garlic slices on the dehydrator trays, making sure they are not overlapping. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, and let the garlic dry for 6 to 8 hours, or until the slices are dry and brittle. Once the onions and garlic are fully dehydrated, you can store them in airtight containers or grind them into a powder using a spice grinder. Dehydrated onions and garlic can be used as a seasoning in Mexican dishes like soups, stews, salsas, or even as a topping for tacos and nachos. 11.1.5 Dehydrating citrus zest. Citrus zest adds a burst of flavor to Mexican dishes, and dehydrating citrus zest allows you to have it on hand whenever you need it. Start by washing the citrus fruits thoroughly and patting them dry. Use a zester or a fine grater to remove the zest from the fruits, making sure to only scrape the colored part of the peel and avoiding the bitter white pith. Spread the citrus zest evenly on the dehydrator trays, making sure it is in a single layer. Set the dehydrator to a low temperature, around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and let the zest dry for 2 to 4 hours, or until it is completely dry and crumbly. Once the citrus zest is fully dehydrated, you can store it in an airtight container or grind it into a fine powder using a spice grinder. Dehydrated citrus zest can be used to add a tangy and aromatic flavor to Mexican dishes like marinades, dressings, or even desserts like citrus-flavored cookies and cakes. By dehydrating Mexican flavors like chili peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, onions, garlic, and citrus zest, you can create a pantry of dried ingredients that will enhance the taste of your Mexican-inspired dishes. Experiment with different combinations and enjoy the convenience of having these flavors readily available whenever you need them. 11.2 Dehydrating Asian-inspired dishes. Asian cuisine is known for its bold flavors, vibrant colors, and diverse range of ingredients. From stir-fries to noodles, soups to dumplings, Asian-inspired dishes offer a wide array of options for those looking to explore dehydrating vegan food. In this section, we will delve into the world of dehydrating Asian-inspired dishes and discover how to create delicious and nutritious meals that can be enjoyed on the go or in the comfort of your own home. 11.2.1 Dehydrating tofu. Tofu is a versatile and protein-rich ingredient commonly used in Asian cuisine. Dehydrating tofu not only extends its shelf life but also transforms its texture, making it a great addition to various dishes. To dehydrate tofu, start by pressing it to remove excess moisture. Once pressed, slice the tofu into thin strips or cubes. Place the tofu on a dehydrator tray and set the temperature to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius. Allow the tofu to dehydrate for 6 to 8 hours or until it becomes firm and chewy. Dehydrated tofu can be used in stir-fries, noodle dishes, or even as a snack on its own. 11.2.2 Dehydrating seaweed. Seaweed is a staple in many Asian cuisines, known for its unique umami flavor and nutritional benefits. Dehydrating seaweed not only enhances its shelf life but also intensifies its flavor. To dehydrate seaweed, start by rinsing it thoroughly to remove any dirt or debris. Pat the seaweed dry and lay it out on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius, and allow the seaweed to dehydrate for 4 to 6 hours or until it becomes crispy. Dehydrated seaweed can be crumbled and used as a topping for rice dishes, salads, or soups. 11.2.3 Dehydrating mushrooms. Mushrooms are a popular ingredient in Asian cuisine, known for their earthy and savory flavors. Dehydrating mushrooms not only concentrates their flavors but also gives them a unique chewy texture. To dehydrate mushrooms, start by cleaning them and removing any dirt or debris. Slice the mushrooms into thin pieces and place them on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and allow the mushrooms to dehydrate for 4 to 6 hours or until they become dry and leathery. Dehydrated mushrooms can be rehydrated and used in stir-fries, soups, or noodle dishes. 11.2.4 Dehydrating rice noodles. Rice noodles are a staple in many Asian dishes, providing a light and delicate base for various flavors. Dehydrating rice noodles not only makes them more convenient to store but also gives them a crispy texture, perfect for snacking or adding to salads. To dehydrate rice noodles, start by cooking them according to the package instructions. Once cooked, drain the noodles and spread them out on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius, and allow the noodles to dehydrate for 4 to 6 hours or until they become crispy. Dehydrated rice noodles can be enjoyed as a snack or rehydrated and used in stir-fries or noodle soups. 11.2.5 Dehydrating Asian-inspired sauces. Asian-inspired sauces, such as soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, or hoisin sauce, are essential for adding depth and flavor to many dishes. Dehydrating these sauces not only extends their shelf life but also makes them more convenient to use. To dehydrate Asian-inspired sauces, start by spreading a thin layer of the sauce on a non-stick dehydrator sheet or parchment paper. Set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and allow the sauce to dehydrate for 6 to 8 hours or until it becomes dry and brittle. Dehydrated sauces can be powdered and used as a seasoning or rehydrated with water to recreate the original sauce. 11.2.6 Dehydrating Asian-inspired snacks. Asian-inspired snacks, such as crispy seaweed, rice crackers, or dried fruits, are popular for their unique flavors and textures. Dehydrating these snacks at home allows you to control the ingredients and create healthier versions. To dehydrate Asian-inspired snacks, start by preparing the ingredients according to the specific recipe. Lay the prepared snacks on dehydrator trays, making sure to leave enough space between them for air circulation. Set the temperature according to the recipe instructions and allow the snacks to dehydrate for the recommended time. Dehydrated Asian-inspired snacks can be enjoyed as a quick and nutritious snack or added to bento boxes for a flavorful twist. Incorporating dehydrated Asian-inspired dishes into your vegan food repertoire allows you to explore new flavors and textures while enjoying the convenience of dehydrated food. Whether you're looking to create on-the-go snacks or flavorful meals, dehydrating Asian-inspired dishes opens up a world of possibilities for your culinary adventures. So, grab your dehydrator and start experimenting with the vibrant and delicious flavors of Asian cuisine. 11.3 Preserving Mediterranean Delights. The Mediterranean diet is renowned for its health benefits and delicious flavors. With its emphasis on fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats, it's no wonder that this cuisine has gained popularity worldwide. In this section, we will explore how to preserve the vibrant flavors of the Mediterranean through dehydrating. 11.3.1 Drying Mediterranean Vegetables. Mediterranean cuisine is known for its abundant use of vegetables, and dehydrating them is a great way to preserve their flavors for future use. Some popular Mediterranean vegetables that can be dehydrated include tomatoes, eggplants, zucchini, and bell peppers. To dehydrate Mediterranean vegetables, start by washing and slicing them into thin, even pieces. For tomatoes, you can either slice them or have cherry tomatoes. For eggplants and zucchini, slice them into rounds or strips. Bell peppers can be sliced or cut into small squares. Once the vegetables are prepared, arrange them in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Set the temperature to around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and let them dry for 8 to 12 hours, or until they are completely dry and brittle. The drying time may vary depending on the thickness of the slices and the moisture content of the vegetables. Once dried, Mediterranean vegetables can be stored in airtight containers or resealable bags. They can be used in a variety of Mediterranean dishes, such as pasta sauces, stews, salads, and dips. To rehydrate them, simply soak them in warm water for a few minutes before using. 11.3.2 Preserving Mediterranean Herbs. Herbs play a crucial role in Mediterranean cuisine, adding depth and flavor to dishes. Dehydrating herbs is a simple and effective way to preserve their aromatic qualities. Some popular Mediterranean herbs that can be dehydrated include basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and parsley. To dehydrate herbs, start by harvesting them when they are at their peak freshness. Rinse them gently to remove any dirt or debris, and pat them dry with a clean towel. Next, remove the leaves from the stems and spread them out in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Set the temperature to around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and let them dry for 2 to 4 hours, or until they are completely dry and crumbly. Keep an eye on them to prevent over-drying, as this can cause the herbs to lose their flavor. Once dried, Mediterranean herbs can be stored in airtight containers or glass jars. They can be used to enhance the flavors of various Mediterranean dishes, such as roasted vegetables, grilled meats, soups, and sauces. To use dried herbs, simply crush them between your fingers or use a mortar and pestle to release their aromatic oils. 11.3.3 Drying Mediterranean Fruits. While the Mediterranean diet is primarily focused on vegetables, there are also some delicious fruits that can be dehydrated to preserve their natural sweetness. One popular Mediterranean fruit that can be dehydrated is figs. To dehydrate figs, start by washing them and removing the stems. Cut them in half or slice them into thin rounds. Arrange the figs in a single layer on the dehydrator trays and set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius. Let them dry for 12 to 24 hours, or until they are leathery and slightly sticky. Another Mediterranean fruit that can be dehydrated is grapes. Choose seedless grapes and wash them thoroughly. Remove the stems and arrange the grapes in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and let them dry for 24 to 36 hours, or until they are shriveled and slightly chewy. Once dried, Mediterranean fruits can be stored in airtight containers or resealable bags. They can be enjoyed as a healthy snack on their own or used in various Mediterranean recipes, such as salads, desserts, and granola bars. 11.3.4 Preserving Mediterranean Spices and Seasonings. Mediterranean cuisine is known for its rich and aromatic spices and seasonings. Dehydrating these spices is a great way to preserve their flavors and extend their shelf life. Some popular Mediterranean spices and seasonings that can be dehydrated include cumin, coriander, paprika, cinnamon, and saffron. To dehydrate spices, start by spreading them out in a single layer on the dehydrator trays. Set the temperature to around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, and let them dry for 2 to 4 hours, or until they are completely dry and brittle. Once dried, Mediterranean spices and seasonings can be stored in airtight containers or glass jars. They can be used to add depth and complexity to a wide range of Mediterranean dishes, such as tagines, couscous, roasted vegetables, and marinades. By dehydrating Mediterranean vegetables, herbs, fruits, and spices, you can enjoy the vibrant flavors of the Mediterranean all year round. Experiment with different combinations and create your own Mediterranean-inspired dishes using these preserved delights. 11.4 Dried Indian Spices and Curries. Indian cuisine is known for its rich and aromatic flavors, which are achieved through the skillful use of spices and herbs. Dehydrating Indian spices and curries can be a great way to preserve their flavors and extend their shelf life. In this section, we will explore the process of dehydrating Indian spices and curries, as well as provide some delicious recipes to try. 11.4.1 Dehydrating Indian Spices. Indian spices are the heart and soul of Indian cuisine. They add depth, complexity, and a burst of flavor to any dish. Dehydrating Indian spices not only helps to preserve their flavors but also makes them more convenient to use in cooking. Here are some popular Indian spices that can be dehydrated. 11.4.1.1 Cumin Seeds. Cumin seeds are widely used in Indian cooking and have a warm, earthy flavor. To dehydrate cumin seeds, spread them out on a dehydrator tray and set the temperature to around 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius. Allow the seeds to dehydrate for about 6 to 8 hours or until they are completely dry and brittle. Once dried, store them in an airtight container for future use. 11.4.1.2 Coriander seeds. Coriander seeds have a citrusy, slightly sweet flavor and are commonly used in Indian curries and spice blends. To dehydrate coriander seeds, follow the same process as cumin seeds. Spread them out on a dehydrator tray and dry them at a low temperature until they are completely dry. Store them in an airtight container to maintain their freshness. 11.4.1.3 Mustard seeds. Mustard seeds are an essential ingredient in many Indian dishes, providing a pungent and slightly spicy flavor. To dehydrate mustard seeds, spread them out on a dehydrator tray and dry them at a low temperature until they are completely dry. Once dried, grind them into a fine powder using a spice grinder or mortar and pestle. Store the powdered mustard seeds in an airtight container. 11.4.1.4 Turmeric powder. Turmeric powder is known for its vibrant yellow color and earthy flavor. It is widely used in Indian curries and is also known for its health benefits. To dehydrate turmeric powder, spread it out on a dehydrator tray and dry it at a low temperature until it is completely dry. Once dried, store it in an airtight container away from direct sunlight. 11.4.2 Dehydrating Indian curries. Indian curries are a staple in Indian cuisine, and dehydrating them can be a convenient way to enjoy their flavors on the go. Here are a few popular Indian curries that can be dehydrated. 11.4.2.1 Chana masala. Chana masala is a popular North Indian curry made with chickpeas and a blend of aromatic spices. To dehydrate chana masala, prepare the curry as usual and then spread it out on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, and allow the curry to dehydrate for about 8 to 10 hours or until it is completely dry. Once dried, break it into small pieces and store it in an airtight container. 11.4.2.2 Tikka masala. Tikka masala is a creamy and flavorful curry made with marinated and grilled vegetables or tofu. To dehydrate tikka masala, prepare the curry and spread it out on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 125 degrees Fahrenheit, 52 degrees Celsius, and allow the curry to dehydrate for about 10 to 12 hours or until it is completely dry. Once dried, crumble it into small pieces and store it in an airtight container. 11.4.2.3 Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh is a rich and aromatic curry made with tender meat or vegetables in a spicy tomato-based sauce. To dehydrate Rogan Josh, prepare the curry and spread it out on a dehydrator tray. Set the temperature to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius, and allow the curry to dehydrate for about 12 to 14 hours or until it is completely dry. Once dried, break it into small pieces and store it in an airtight container. 11.4.3 Using dehydrated Indian spices and curries. Once you have successfully dehydrated your Indian spices and curries, there are various ways to use them in your cooking. Here are a few ideas. Grind the dehydrated spices into a fine powder and use them to season your dishes. Add the dehydrated curries to soups, stews, or sauces to enhance their flavors. Use the dehydrated spices and curries as a rub for meats, tofu, or vegetables before grilling or roasting. Rehydrate the dehydrated curries by soaking them in hot water or vegetable broth before using them in recipes. Remember to adjust the quantities of dehydrated spices and curries according to your taste preferences, as their flavors can intensify during the dehydration process. Dehydrating Indian spices and curries is a fantastic way to preserve their flavors and create convenient pantry staples for your Indian-inspired dishes. Experiment with different spice blends and curry recipes to find your favorite combinations. Enjoy the vibrant and aromatic flavors of Indian cuisine, even when you're on the go. 12. Dehydrating for outdoor adventures. 12.1 Drying vegan backpacking meals. When it comes to outdoor adventures like backpacking, having lightweight and nutritious meals is essential. Dehydrating vegan food is a great way to create convenient and delicious meals that are easy to carry and require minimal preparation. In this section, we will explore the process of drying vegan backpacking meals and provide some recipe ideas to inspire your next adventure. 12.1.1 Benefits of drying vegan backpacking meals. Drying vegan backpacking meals offers several advantages for outdoor enthusiasts. Here are some of the benefits. Lightweight. Dehydrated meals are significantly lighter than their fresh counterparts, making them ideal for backpacking. By removing the water content, the weight of the food is greatly reduced, allowing you to carry more supplies without straining your back. Long shelf life. Dehydrated meals have a longer shelf life compared to fresh food. By removing moisture, the growth of bacteria and mold is inhibited, ensuring that your meals stay safe to consume for an extended period. This is particularly important when embarking on multi-day hikes or camping trips. Convenience. Dehydrated meals are incredibly convenient for outdoor adventures. They require minimal preparation and can be easily rehydrated with boiling water. This saves you time and effort, allowing you to focus on enjoying your surroundings and activities. Nutrition. Contrary to popular belief, dehydrated meals can retain a significant amount of their nutritional value. While some nutrients may be lost during the drying process, many vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants remain intact. By carefully selecting and dehydrating nutrient-dense vegan ingredients, you can ensure that your backpacking meals provide the necessary fuel for your adventures. 12.1.2 Tips for drying vegan backpacking meals. To create delicious and nutritious dehydrated backpacking meals, consider the following tips. Choose the right ingredients. Opt for vegan ingredients that dehydrate well and retain their flavor and texture. Some examples include vegetables like bell peppers, carrots, and zucchini, as well as legumes like lentils and chickpeas. Avoid ingredients with high water content, as they may not dehydrate properly. Preparation is key. Before dehydrating your ingredients, it's important to properly prepare them. Wash and chop vegetables into small, uniform pieces to ensure even drying. Cook legumes and grains until they are fully cooked but not mushy. This will help them rehydrate properly when it's time to enjoy your meal. Spread ingredients evenly. When placing ingredients on the dehydrator trays, make sure to spread them out evenly. This allows for better airflow and ensures that all pieces dry at a similar rate. Avoid overcrowding the trays, as this can lead to uneven drying and potentially spoilage. Monitor drying time. Different ingredients require different drying times. Keep a close eye on your dehydrator and check the progress regularly. It's better to slightly under-dry your ingredients than to over-dry them, as they can become brittle and lose their flavor. Aim for a leathery or slightly pliable texture. Proper storage. Once your vegan backpacking meals are fully dehydrated, it's important to store them properly to maintain their quality. Transfer the dried ingredients to airtight containers or resealable bags, and store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Properly stored dehydrated meals can last for several months. 12.1.3 Recipe Ideas for Vegan Backpacking Meals. Now that you have a good understanding of the benefits and tips for drying vegan backpacking meals, here are some recipe ideas to inspire your outdoor adventures. Curried lentil stew. Dehydrate cooked lentils, carrots, bell peppers, onions, and a flavorful curry sauce. When it's time to enjoy your meal, simply rehydrate the ingredients with boiling water and let them simmer until tender. Serve with rice or quinoa for a satisfying and nutritious meal. Mexican quinoa bowl. Dehydrate cooked quinoa, black beans, corn, bell peppers, and a spicy tomato sauce. Rehydrate the ingredients with hot water and let them sit for a few minutes. Top with avocado, salsa, and a squeeze of lime for a delicious and protein-packed meal. Thai peanut noodles. Dehydrate cooked rice noodles, tofu, bell peppers, carrots, and a creamy peanut sauce. Rehydrate the ingredients with boiling water and let them sit until the noodles are tender. Garnish with chopped peanuts and fresh cilantro for a flavorful and energizing meal. Mediterranean couscous salad. Dehydrate cooked couscous, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, olives, and a tangy lemon dressing. Rehydrate the ingredients with hot water and let them sit until the couscous is fluffy. Add some fresh herbs like parsley and mint for a refreshing and light meal. Remember to experiment with different ingredients and flavors to create your own unique vegan backpacking meals. With a little creativity and preparation, you can enjoy delicious and nourishing meals while exploring the great outdoors. Happy backpacking. 12.2 Dehydrating snacks for hiking. When it comes to hiking, having lightweight and nutritious snacks is essential to keep your energy levels up and satisfy your hunger on the trail. Dehydrating snacks for hiking is a great way to create portable and long-lasting food options that are easy to pack and won't weigh you down. In this section, we will explore some delicious and healthy dehydrated snacks that are perfect for your outdoor adventures. 12.2.1 Trail Mix. Trail mix is a classic hiking snack that provides a perfect balance of carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats. By dehydrating your own trail mix, you can customize it to your liking and ensure that it contains only the ingredients you enjoy. Start by selecting a variety of nuts and seeds such as almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and chia seeds. You can also add dried fruits like raisins, cranberries, or apricots for a touch of sweetness. To enhance the flavor, consider adding some spices like cinnamon or nutmeg. Once you have gathered all your ingredients, spread them out on a dehydrator tray and dry them at a low temperature until they are crispy and fully dehydrated. Pack your homemade trail mix in individual portions and enjoy it on the trail for a quick and energizing snack. 12.2.2 Fruit leather. Fruit leather is a delicious and healthy snack that is easy to make and perfect for hiking. To make fruit leather, start by pureeing your favorite fruits such as strawberries, apples, or mangoes. You can also mix different fruits together to create unique flavor combinations. Spread the fruit puree evenly on a dehydrator tray lined with a non-stick sheet or parchment paper. Set your dehydrator to a low temperature and let it dry for several hours until the fruit leather is firm and no longer sticky to the touch. Once it is fully dehydrated, cut it into strips or roll it up for easy packing. Fruit leather is a great source of natural sugars and provides a burst of energy during your hike. 12.2.3 Veggie chips. If you're looking for a savory snack option, dehydrated veggie chips are a fantastic choice. You can make veggie chips using a variety of vegetables such as kale, zucchini, sweet potatoes, or beets. Slice the vegetables thinly and evenly, then arrange them on dehydrator trays. Sprinkle them with your favorite seasonings like sea salt, paprika, or garlic powder for added flavor. Dehydrate the veggie chips at a low temperature until they are crispy and brittle. These crunchy and nutritious chips are a great alternative to store-bought potato chips and will keep you satisfied during your hiking adventures. 12.2.4 Energy bars. Dehydrating your own energy bars is a convenient and cost-effective way to fuel your body during long hikes. Start by combining ingredients like oats, nuts, seeds, dried fruits, and sweeteners such as honey or maple syrup in a food processor. Blend the ingredients until they form a sticky dough-like consistency. Press the mixture into a lined baking dish and flatten it evenly. Place the dish in the dehydrator and dry at a low temperature until the bars are firm and hold their shape. Once cooled, cut them into individual bars and wrap them in parchment paper or plastic wrap for easy packing. These homemade energy bars are packed with nutrients and will provide you with a boost of energy when you need it most. 12.2.5 Jerky. For those who prefer savory snacks with a protein punch, dehydrated vegan jerky is a fantastic option. You can make vegan jerky using ingredients like tofu, tempeh, or seitan. Marinate the protein source in a flavorful mixture of soy sauce, liquid smoke, spices, and herbs. Let it marinate for a few hours or overnight to allow the flavors to infuse. Once marinated, place the protein slices on dehydrator trays and dry them at a low temperature until they are chewy and fully dehydrated. Vegan jerky is a great source of protein and will keep you satisfied during your hiking adventures. 12.2.6 Granola bars. Granola bars are another popular snack choice for hikers due to their portability and long shelf life. To make dehydrated granola bars, combine ingredients like oats, nuts, seeds, dried fruits, and sweeteners in a mixing bowl. Mix everything together until well combined, then press the mixture into a lined baking dish. Place the dish in the dehydrator and dry at a low temperature until the bars are firm and hold their shape. Once cooled, cut them into individual bars and store them in an airtight container for your hiking trips. These homemade granola bars are packed with fiber and nutrients, making them a perfect snack to keep you fueled on the trail. Conclusion. Dehydrating snacks for hiking is a fantastic way to ensure you have nutritious and delicious food options during your outdoor adventures. From trail mix to fruit leather, veggie chips to energy bars, there are endless possibilities for creating your own dehydrated snacks. By dehydrating your own snacks, you have full control over the ingredients, flavors, and portion sizes, allowing you to tailor them to your specific dietary needs and preferences. So, grab your dehydrator and start experimenting with different snack recipes to enhance your hiking experience. 12.3 Preserving food for camping. Camping is a popular outdoor activity that allows people to connect with nature and enjoy the beauty of the great outdoors. Whether you are embarking on a weekend camping trip or a longer adventure, it is important to plan your meals and snacks in advance. Dehydrating food for camping is a great way to ensure that you have nutritious and delicious meals while minimizing the weight and space of your food supplies. 12.3.1 Benefits of dehydrating food for camping. Dehydrating food for camping offers several benefits that make it an ideal choice for outdoor adventures. Here are some of the advantages. Lightweight and compact. Dehydrated food is significantly lighter and more compact than its fresh or canned counterparts. This makes it easier to carry and reduces the overall weight of your backpack. Dehydrated meals can be packed into smaller containers, saving valuable space in your camping gear. Extended shelf life. Dehydrating food removes the moisture content, which inhibits the growth of bacteria and mold. This extends the shelf life of the food, allowing you to prepare meals well in advance of your camping trip. Dehydrated food can last for months or even years if stored properly. Nutritionally dense. Dehydrated food retains most of its nutrients, making it a healthy choice for camping. The dehydration process preserves vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, ensuring that you get the necessary nutrients while enjoying your outdoor adventure. Convenience. Dehydrated meals are incredibly convenient for camping. They require minimal preparation and can be rehydrated quickly with hot water. This saves time and energy, allowing you to focus on enjoying your camping experience. 12.3.2 Choosing the right food for dehydrating. When it comes to preserving food for camping, it is important to choose the right types of food for dehydration. Some foods dehydrate better than others and retain their flavor and texture. Here are some popular options for dehydrating food for camping. Fruits. Fruits such as apples, bananas, strawberries, and mangoes are excellent choices for dehydrating. They can be sliced or pureed before dehydration, resulting in delicious and nutritious snacks for your camping trip. Vegetables. Vegetables like carrots, bell peppers, zucchini, and tomatoes can be dehydrated to create flavorful additions to your camping meals. Dehydrated vegetables can be rehydrated and added to soups, stews, and pasta dishes. Meat and plant-based proteins. If you consume meat or plant-based proteins, you can dehydrate cooked chicken, beef, tofu, or tempeh to create protein-rich meals for camping. These can be rehydrated and added to rice, pasta, or quinoa for a satisfying and nutritious camping meal. Grains and legumes. Rice, quinoa, lentils, and beans can be dehydrated to create lightweight and easy-to-cook meals for camping. These can be rehydrated with hot water or cooked directly in a pot over a campfire. 12.3.3 Dehydrating techniques for camping. To preserve food for camping, it is important to follow proper dehydration techniques. Here are some tips to ensure successful dehydration. Preparation. Wash and prepare the food by slicing, dicing, or pureeing it as desired. Remove any seeds, pits, or tough parts before dehydrating. Even slicing. For consistent drying, ensure that the food is sliced evenly. This helps in achieving uniform dehydration and prevents some pieces from being under or over-dried. Dehydrator settings. Set your dehydrator to the appropriate temperature and time for the specific food you are dehydrating. Different foods require different drying times and temperatures, so refer to the dehydrator's manual for guidance. Air circulation. Proper air circulation is crucial for effective dehydration. Arrange the food in a single layer on the dehydrator trays, ensuring that there is enough space between the pieces for air to circulate. Monitoring. Regularly check the progress of the dehydration process. Rotate the trays if necessary to ensure even drying. The food is ready when it is dry, brittle, and no moisture is felt when touched. Storage. Once the food is dehydrated, allow it to cool completely before storing. Store the dehydrated food in airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags to prevent moisture absorption and maintain its freshness. 12.3.4 Meal ideas for camping. Dehydrated food can be used to create a variety of delicious and nutritious meals for camping. Here are some meal ideas to inspire your camping menu. Dehydrated chili. Prepare a dehydrated chili by combining dehydrated vegetables, beans, and spices. Rehydrate the mixture with hot water, and you'll have a hearty and flavorful chili ready to enjoy. Dehydrated pasta primavera. Dehydrate a mix of vegetables like bell peppers, zucchini, and cherry tomatoes. Combine the dehydrated vegetables with dehydrated pasta and your favorite seasonings. Rehydrate with hot water, and you'll have a delicious pasta primavera for your camping dinner. Dehydrated fruit and nut mix. Create a nutritious and energy-packed snack by combining dehydrated fruits like apples, bananas, and strawberries with nuts like almonds and walnuts. This mix provides a quick and easy snack option for your camping adventures. Dehydrated soup mix. Prepare a dehydrated soup mix by combining dehydrated vegetables, grains, and spices. Rehydrate the mix with hot water, and you'll have a comforting and nourishing soup to warm you up on chilly camping nights. Remember to plan your meals in advance and pack the necessary ingredients and spices for your dehydrated meals. With proper preparation and storage, dehydrated food can be a game changer for your camping experience, providing you with lightweight, nutritious, and delicious meals that are easy to prepare in the great outdoors. 12.4 Dried meals for road trips. Road trips can be an exciting adventure, but finding vegan-friendly meals on the go can sometimes be a challenge. That's where dehydrated meals come in handy. With a little preparation, you can have delicious and nutritious meals ready to enjoy during your road trip. In this section, we will explore some ideas for dehydrated meals that are perfect for road trips. 12.4.1 Planning your meals. Before you hit the road, it's important to plan your meals ahead of time. This will ensure that you have all the necessary ingredients and equipment to prepare your dehydrated meals. Here are a few tips to help you plan your meals for your road trip. Consider the duration of your trip. Take into account the length of your road trip when planning your meals. If you're going on a shorter trip, you may only need a few meals. For longer trips, you'll need to plan for more meals and snacks. Choose meals that are easy to rehydrate. Opt for meals that can be easily rehydrated with hot water. This will save you time and make meal preparation on the road much easier. Pack individual meal portions. Divide your dehydrated meals into individual portions before packing them. This will make it easier to portion out meals and prevent any waste. Consider your dietary preferences. Take into account any dietary preferences or restrictions when planning your meals. Whether you're gluten-free, soy-free, or have any other dietary restrictions, there are plenty of options available for dehydrated meals. 12.4.2 Dehydrated meal ideas. Now that you have a plan in place, let's explore some delicious dehydrated meal ideas for your road trip. Vegan chili. Prepare a hearty vegan chili by dehydrating cooked beans, vegetables, and spices. To rehydrate, simply add hot water and let it sit for a few minutes. Serve with some dehydrated cornbread for a complete meal. Pasta primavera. Dehydrate cooked pasta, mixed vegetables, and a creamy vegan sauce. When you're ready to eat, add hot water and let it rehydrate. This meal is not only delicious but also packed with nutrients. Curry and rice. Dehydrate a flavorful curry with your choice of vegetables and spices. Pair it with dehydrated rice for a satisfying and filling meal on the road. Quinoa salad. Prepare a refreshing quinoa salad by dehydrating cooked quinoa, chopped vegetables, and a tangy dressing. Rehydrate with water and enjoy a light and nutritious meal. Mexican rice and beans. Dehydrate cooked rice, black beans, and a flavorful Mexican sauce. When you're ready to eat, simply add hot water and let it rehydrate. Top it off with some dehydrated salsa for an extra kick of flavor. Thai peanut noodles. Dehydrate cooked rice noodles, mixed vegetables, and a creamy peanut sauce. Rehydrate with hot water and enjoy a delicious and satisfying Thai-inspired meal. Lentil soup. Dehydrate cooked lentils, vegetables, and spices to create a hearty and comforting lentil soup. Rehydrate with hot water and enjoy a warm and nourishing meal on the road. Veggie stir-fry. Dehydrate a mix of your favorite vegetables and a savory sauce. When you're ready to eat, simply add hot water and let it rehydrate. Serve with some dehydrated rice or noodles for a complete meal. 12.4.3 Tips for dehydrating meals. To ensure the success of your dehydrated meals for road trips, here are a few tips to keep in mind. Properly dehydrate your ingredients. Make sure to dehydrate your ingredients thoroughly to prevent spoilage. Follow the instructions for your dehydrator and check for any signs of moisture before packing. Use high-quality ingredients. Choose fresh and high-quality ingredients for your dehydrated meals. This will ensure that your meals are flavorful and nutritious. Pack your meals in airtight containers. Store your dehydrated meals in airtight containers or resealable bags to keep them fresh and prevent any moisture from getting in. Label your meals. Don't forget to label your meals with the name and cooking instructions. This will make it easier to identify and prepare your meals on the road. Pack extra snacks. In addition to your dehydrated meals, pack some extra snacks like dried fruits, nuts, and energy bars to keep you fueled throughout your road trip. By planning ahead and preparing dehydrated meals for your road trip, you can enjoy delicious and nutritious food wherever your adventure takes you. So, get creative with your meal ideas, pack your dehydrated meals, and hit the road with confidence knowing that you have tasty vegan meals waiting for you. Happy travels!